right. And for the past 10 weeks, our tech founders have gone through, the hard work, your diligence, ups and downs, I don't know, laughter, and a lot of pizza, and a lot of staying back, and, calling each other. And they told me that they are not the designer, they are not the app developer, they are not scientists, they're just an ordinary person with an awesome idea. And they came to this course. And today they are going to present their work. And unfortunately, you will go straight to the defense sessions. Okay. So, because yesterday we already have your video being released to the judges, and all the judges have seen your video. And I had just quickly had a peep on the result sheet. Do you want to know who is actually at the top at the moment? I can give you some hints. Um, they are not they are all tech founders. All right, that's what I can tell you. Okay. All right, I will quickly hand it over to Utah for the opening. Over to you, Utah.
Ia mihi nui ki e koutou katoa. Ko putua ki te maunga, ko e hine mataro te awa. Ko mā tātua te waka, e huri au, o ngā iwi, ko ngā te awa, me ngā te piki au, me ngā te pukenga. Ko te hapu te patua, ko tora te marae, ko tora te ariki, ko Utah Rupene Siasi Men, toko ingoa, tihei Māori ora. Kia ora, morena everybody. I just wanted to welcome you guys to the Tech Founders event. I've heard and I'm excited to now see all the hard work you put in. Welcome to our judges. It's all right with everybody. We'll start off with a karakia and I'll hand it back to Sean. Kia tau, ngā mana kitea, a te mea ngaro, ke runga, ke taina, ki taina o tātou, ke mahia te huea, makihiki, kia toi te kupu, toi te mana, toi te aroha, toi te reo Māori, kia tūturu, kia whakamaunga, kia taina. Taina hui e, tā hiki e. Over to you, Sean.
Thank you so much. That's a wonderful opening this morning. Hey, now we will, without further ado, I will just have a roundtable introductions. First of all, we would like to introduce all the judges today. May I have you telling us a little bit about yourself with really short introductions. So why not we start with Tara Moana?
Kia ora nā te katoa, ko te ramana raipu tōku ingoa, no Rarotonga, Aitutaki me Mangaia tōku mama, no Jamaica, Cuba me Suriname tōku papa. Kei te mahi ana hau ki Okana Limited, kei te noho ana hau ki te ahika a Rakataura. Kia ora all, my name is Te Ramana Rapley. My mum is from the Cook Islands and my father is from the Caribbean. My mahi at the moment is lead strategist for the creative economy at Auckland Unlimited, our cultural and economic development agency for Tāmaki Makaurau. And I live in Mount Albert. I have 4 sons and 3 grandchildren, and it's really lovely to be here on a Saturday morning with you all. Mauri ora.
Thank you so much. Next we have Campbell Scott.
Hey guys, really awesome to be here. So I'm currently an early stage investor. I invest in syndicated investment rounds with Flying Kiwi Angels, and I've probably invested in about, 15 early stage tech startups, as well as, the usual other things as well. I've worked in 3 continents. I've, got one of those fancy MBA type degrees. But what I really look for and really admire about is actually investing into people. So I've had a fortunate ability to work in a variety of different areas, and including where I met Diana originally when I was working, trying to do some hard mahi down in Manukau at the Manukau Institute of Technology. So currently I do run large-scale projects for Vodafone.
Okay, we have Rob. Hi, Rob.
Kia ora whanau, ko Rapaho, ko Vikari te whanau, no Ingarangi aho, ko Hilfarents te iwi, ko Exmo te moana, ko Atlantic te moana, ko Exmo te monga, ko Atlantic te moana, kanui te mihi kia koto, tēnā koto, tēnā koto, tēnā koto katoa. So I'm Rob, I'm been a VC for about 10 years, run a venture fund here in New Zealand, and I basically invest in people for these two reasons behind me, which is my two sons. So my belief is that I'm here to empower people to build a better generation, a better future for them. And so that's what I do. I invest in seed stage companies. I've made about 50 investments in my career. About half of those investments have been into women-founded companies. And just under half of our portfolio here in New Zealand is into Māori-founded companies. Mostly focused in technology and AI and machine learning. And but much like Campbell, we invest in people, and so we look for people with audacious ideas and bold plans and things that people have never seen before. So that's me.
Thank you. We'll have Kerry Top.
Kia ora e te whānau. Ko Matarangi te maunga, ko Kairangi te awa, ko Raukawa te moana, Strathallan 1850 te waka, e rangi te iwi, and he tangata riti a hau, ko Kerry Top taka ingoa. So kia ora everyone. Look, it's wonderful to have to be here today, and I'm really excited by it. I mean, my my desire from charting from, I guess, a corporate life out into my own waka and journey of being an entrepreneur itself is really driven by being a good ancestor, and with the remaining 15, 20 years that I've got, that actually, I give back and really give this opportunity to find more job creators and people that actually build companies and create high value jobs, of which I see a lot of that in what I saw in there. So I'm excited by it and looking forward to working with you. Kia ora.
Thank you. Such a humble introductions. All right. Hey, let's have the tech founders. Yay, the tech founders. Are you here? Make some noise. Or showing your clapping emoji. That's all right for me. All right, cool. Hey, I see some clapping hands already. But hey, let's put the name on your face. Hey, let the judges knows you. Let's have Candy. Candy, just a really brief introductions from you. Candy, okay. I have to move on to the next one, and then I will come back to you. All right, Matt.
Morning, everybody. My name's Matt. I Think News Digital Solutions. I'm from the UK originally. I came to New Zealand in 2005, and I'm here to, I've really enjoyed this whole process. It's been brilliant, and really grateful for the opportunity to pitch to you guys today. Get some feedback. Really excited about the thing. I want to help business owners to be able to simplify their businesses, become more efficient, make more money. So that's generally where I'm at today. Looking forward to speaking to you later. Thank you.
All right, cool. Sweet and short. Candy. Now, next, Fred. Sorry, I have to do this.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My name is Fred. I'm Cook Islander. I have a wife and kids, and I heard Manukau Institute before. I'm actually a graduate from there, so I'm very excited to see fellow MIT people in this call. I work at Office Max, but I'm trying to become someone who can make a positive change using digital apps in our Kiwi people's lives. So thank you very much, and good to see you all.
Yep, thank you. Jade, are you there?
Ai, morena koutou. Ko Jade Maha taku ingoa. My father's from the Waikato. My mother's from the far north. I became a grandfather at the age of 30 and a father at the age of 15. Been with my partner for 21 years. Yeah, and just pretty keen to just get into the business world and see what it's got to offer. I've been in it for roughly since 2010, but yeah, still quite a bit to learn, and yeah, interested to see what you guys have got to share with us. Yeah.
Cool. So Candy, please get ready. The next one is you. So we will have Joel.
Morena koto katoa, ko Joel Mali toko ingawa. I whakapapa back to Manila, Philippines, and I'm the founder of Inside Out. It's a for-purpose impact venture, and we help businesses get unstuck by matching them with next generation mentors anytime, anywhere. So really looking forward to your insights. Kia ora.
Cool. Candy. Candy. Sumit.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sumit. I'm originally from Fiji. I work for MedTech Global. I'm the tech founder of Events Hub, events platform for vendors and customers. Thank you.
All right. Did I miss anyone else except Candy? Candy, are you all right over there? Okay. If not, then never mind. We will have that 1 minute pitching later on. You can sort of introduce yourself. Okay. Cool. Did I miss anyone? Fred, Jade, Matt. All right. Cool. No. If you have been missed, then please let me know. All right. Cool. So what we are going to do right now, it's the defense sessions. Oh, Candy, I see you coming back. Is your mic working? Candy? All right. Okay, cool. Anyway, so we will go straight to the defense sessions. What we're going to do for the defense sessions is that you will have, I mean, when I say you means the tech founder, you will have 1 minute elevator page, and then straight away to the defense session. So the judges will ask you questions straight away, and we already put the name on your face, so they already see the video, but some of your video doesn't show your face, so it is good to let everyone know, you know, who are you. Okay, now, so who is going to go first? I actually have a really awesome tools right now. Well, I'm a democratic person, so that's why I'm using this. All right. When I spin the wheel, yes, you know how it works. You don't need me to tell you how it works. All right, so that means tech founders, you all have to get ready. We don't know who is going to be the first one and who is next. All right. All right. Should I spin the wheel? Okay, let's go. Oh my God. Oh my God, Candy, are you fixing your mic? Okay. All right. Candy.
We can't hear you.
Candy, are you there? Everything happened for a reason, isn't it? So, Candy, are you okay with your mic? If not, then you can actually lock out and lock in again and try it again. We will have the next one. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Candy, you can actually lock out and lock in again and try to fix your mic. Yep. Good. All right, cool. I'll just put the name Candy. I'll just have to take out her name because while she's fixing the mic. All right, I will spin the wheel again. Oh, Joe, Jay, Joe. Hey, Jade. So you are next. All right, 1 minute elevator page, and then we will have questions from the judge. Over to you, Jay.
Kia ora everybody, Jay Ngaha. My company or the tech or the idea that I've come up with is the company's called SafeScrow. We plan to be an escrow service that caters to the construction industry and ultimately every other industry and that deals with contractual work. A big passion for me in this is obviously my whānau. I do a lot of this for my to create some financial security for them. But yeah, that's me. Kia ora.
All right. Question from the judges, one each.
I can go if you like.
Yep. Carry.
Yep. Kia ora, Jade. Hey, first of all, I just want to acknowledge the heartfelt story that you had, and you made it really personable and personal. I think that's a real art. So I found myself leaning in. I guess the big thing is, the afterpay for construction. I think that's ripe for disruption. Just convince me that the main contractors themselves will see value and benefit in this. And why do you think they'll sign up? I can see buyers and I can see subbies, but a big part of this is main contractors. So just talk me through kind of how you validated that concept with them.
So my
sorry, Jet. 3 minutes from now.
So my understanding of the industry at the moment is that contractors have to fork out a lot of that money up front for their first month before they get a payment release.
Yeah.
So the program, what we're trying to do is if they can simplify those processes into milestones, whether it's a day or 2 days or a week, then the money flow can be a lot more, obviously transparent, a lot more quicker to them.
Did you speak to a few of those just to get some validation of the opportunity and the problem?
So I've spoken to about 3 of them, and they're definitely keen on the concept of the business. They did say the same thing. Why would we jump on when it's My thing is just to kind of grow this for the little man. It's something that's going to be organically growing. It's not going to be something that's going to pop out tomorrow and be the multi-billion-dollar company. Well, that's not what my goal is from marketing this thing. I think I started this and built this thing for Jay Ngaha back when I first started my first company. So if I didn't have no capital, didn't have no assets, my thing was to try and build it as simple and as effective for them. And especially for homeowners who don't have any experience in the industry.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. That's from Carrie. Do you have any question from any judges?
Yeah. Kia ora, Jade. Good to meet you. And so I funded a construction-based company in New Zealand called Quotamation, and they're focused on kind of the tilers and painters and decorators of this world. And one of the things that is hard is trying to sell to a largely offline audience, because most of them aren't. Text message is probably the most effective way to getting through to contractors. What are your thoughts on how you might kind of tackle the marketing side and growing the number of users?
Because I've been in the industry, I've worked in Australia in the mines. I've got a lot of contacts in the UK and the US, and they're all whānau. They know, so my thing is just to grow it organically, spread the word that way, and then if it reaches out to the bigger players, then by all means. But
Awesome.
Okay, hi. I'll also fess up. I'm also an investor in Quotamation as well, and that's one of the things that I've mentioned in the summary. It's just about sometimes what we're looking to do is invest into companies that have a very purposeful and singular niche that they're looking to do, and they're looking to do that really well, the best that they can do. I'm just a little bit of a question here about the breadth of services that you intend to go into, and just the timeline that's associated with some of that growth. I'm just wondering if you feel you've been a little bit too ambitious, and that you actually need to focus on a really, really singular niche first before you grow more legs and sort of start to grow it. What are your thoughts on that particular item?
My thoughts on it, I suppose being in the industry and going through this whole process over the last couple of weeks, this is definitely something that I've been told to do, is kind of do one thing great instead of a lot of things half pint. But my experiences is that I think you need a multiple of services to be able to cater to the problem. I think there's a lot of people doing one service but not doing another service. So I think that to be able to fix a problem, you have to have a multiple of services to be able to do that. So was my way of going with multiple instead of just one.
Halfway. I don't really have anything to ask you, Jade. I just really love the fact that you are bringing your whole self to the table unapologetically. Your experience in your mahi and what you've already done and carried forward, you've already looked at your network of people and a product or service that all of these people need. And the connection that you've created as well, and your focus is not on growth, which is fantastic. It's about transformation. So awesome. Thank you.
Oh, good. That's Jay, you do have remaining 3 minutes. Do you have anything to add on?
I just wanted to say that I know like this, I think probably about with all the connections that I've made throughout the industry, I'd say probably 70% of them go through this problem. And so, yeah, it's not something that it's not about this for me. There was a time there where I was going to go to prison and my kids weren't going to see me, so that's more important to me, to make sure that every other business owner and every other construction or any other business owner doesn't fall through those holes. But yeah, that's me.
Jay, can I just kind of add a question in there? I think, I told Toko in terms of bringing your whole self, man, like it was a great presentation, and like I said, I felt myself leaning in. I guess an observation, and I put this in the feedback is, it's an opportunity to ask, and it's okay to ask, right? And so you're not asking for money, right? But there's other forms of things that you can ask for. So time with mentors or people that are experienced in spaces. Like in the remaining 2 minutes, what's something that you would want from this group or from anyone else?
I think for me, it would be obviously just to make the connection, the handshake, the network, just to meet you as people. And obviously, if this thing does grow into what we potentially see it to grow into, just to share the aroha and with all your friends and sharing everything out that way.
Kia ora, man. Yeah, thank you.
Kia ora.
Thank you. You do have some time with you. Any question from the judges, or Jake, do you have anything to add on?
No, I'm good.
All right. Cool.
Can I just say one thing, and it's a thing kind of to everyone who's presenting here, and a lot of you start with, I'm the tender for this, or you have to pay for that. Try and be the you for that, because Tinder is a company that's best part of 15 years old, whatever it is now, kind of been and gone, right? So I know it's an easy way sometimes to explain what you're doing, but if you focus more on the problem you're solving, that will tell us what you do. And so I don't think you're the afterpay for this. I think you are this very specific offering for tradies or for construction people, and this is the problem we're solving. And so don't be don't be nervous or timid about kind of being bold like that, because yeah, it actually helps me comprehend more about what you're doing. If you go that way, as opposed to saying you're this for this.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Just build on that as well, like trust, kind of came to my mind, and so it's what is the space of trust that you want to bring, because there's low trust across the ecosystem, right? So how do you stand for trust for trade or whatever it is, right? It's kind of that feels like your tūranga waiwai, the place to stand, right? That you can confidently build on. So yeah, I'll tautoko build off what Rob said. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Thank you.
Just one more thing, sorry, my bro. Also around the extensive services that you want to, the multiple services that you want to deliver. Think about partnering up with other cats that can do that. Then that'll help to expand your network further as well, to deliver some of the services instead of you carrying everything that you want to do. And I love the fact that you've identified the issues throughout the ecosystem, because you're right. You can't make that shift without touching all of those different nodes. You know that. So, choice.
Kia ora.
Thank you. Awesome. Initially, we thought the defense session is like this and like this. All right. But we didn't know that you do actually get some feedback on top of that. Thank you so much. That's out of our expectations. And also, Jade, you were mentioning that money is not important for you, right? Just now. So the prices today, should we exclude you from that?
Oh, you hear
Anyway.
the crying babies in the background.
Or maybe you can
looking around for your whole wahine, man, just to make sure that you don't answer that question, right? It's yes.
Hey, in case you're the winner, you have to donate it, okay? To the next one, you have to say that I need that money. All right, before we move on and spinning the wheel, Candy, I have to make sure that you have that mic ready. Are you okay with that?
Yes. How do I sound?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, now I can spin the wheel. Okay, look at the response from us. Okay. All right, let's begin. Oh, Candy. Okay. Fred. Yay. All right. Over to you, Fred. 1 minute elevator page, and then followed by the defense sessions.
Again, good morning, everyone. Yes, my name is Fred, and I am the founder of Wealth. And our mission is to empower Kiwis with their finances, saving large amounts for their needs and goals. We want to be able to get groups of families, friends, church groups, community groups together so that they can save money together and become better with their finances. And how we plan to do that is by providing a digital app that leverages a tried and tested method already, which is savings groups, to help Kiwis accumulate their financial peace. Yeah, so thank you very much. That's me.
Good, sweet, sharp, and simple. Now, question from the
Fred, I love reading and watching your video. My father-in-law lives in Guatemala, and he is part of a pooled savings program, and it's cool. And I've grown up around building societies in England, which is kind of what that was meant to be as well, right? So love it. Question for you. The biggest thing that causes a lot of fintech companies to fall over is compliance and like managing and becoming basically a financial institution, which is what you would become. What's your thoughts on how do you manage like traversing the world of banking and savings compliance?
I think that's actually a journey for me. I am aware that I would have to engage with the Financial Market Authority in some sort of way. I belong to a current savings group, and that's been a lot of the discussions, because when people come and join, it was my question as well when I joined them. It was like, why are we not doing interest? Why is this not already available to Kiwis? And the consensus was the financial market said that if interest is involved, then they would need to comply. So I do know that there's a level of compliance, and I'd like to actually explore that and find out what that's about.
Good.
So I'm excited to go ahead and find out what that looks like. And I don't really see it as much of a problem because although we're dragging our feet, New Zealand is moving towards open banking. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
We sort of spot that question already. All right, cool. Any more questions from other judges? Or anything that you would like to say?
Fred, yeah, wonderful in terms of your presentation. Your presentation styles is really strong and engaging. The question I've got is around business model, particularly around costs and what diligence you went through to derive the development costs particularly, and can you just talk me through that?
Oh, well, the development cost was really around about 160 hours worth of development. That's really what I based it on.
Yeah.
So at 40K, I'm looking for 160 hours just to get the first phase of the app going, so that we can actually get it out into the market and be able to get people, because the people that I need to be talking to, the actual users, it'd be pointless for me to show them a few screenshots if I said, hey, look, this is how it works. We've got it, in hand. So that's really where I'm aiming for my development to get me to. And I think 160 hours is where it's at for me in terms of what I think would be capable of getting it across the line.
Yeah. And did you seek some validation around that and from other folks?
Mostly my own research. I'm with a couple of companies that I've been providing some assistance, and they have development teams overseas. So I've sort of been gauging what I could do with a team overseas, or if I was to sort of do it myself, and comparing what was the best option. And I think, that's what I settled on.
Yeah.
That figure.
And in that cost, picking up on Rob's point, did you also sort of, what consideration did you give to security and financial validation and compliance in your current costs?
None at the moment.
Yeah.
Although it's on my radar.
Yeah.
It's certainly on my radar.
Yeah.
And I will, because some of the conversations I've also had is if I go straight into blockchain, a lot of the compliance and whatnot can sort of be not necessarily circumvented, but it can be pushed to like phase 2 or phase 3. So whether those discussions are right or if they're wrong, I certainly don't know, but that's what I've been informed.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Tackle it now, because it will kill you if you don't get it right. The last thing you want is for someone to use this and to use it for ill means, right? Money laundering or for something like that. And get hold of it now. I think blockchain it's been around for a while and it still hasn't really quite found its footing in a lot of ways. I wouldn't the sanctity of what you're doing and the importance of what you're doing, just it really screams to me of just keeping it simple and not going down the line of trying new technologies or things that are kind of deregulated or decentralized. The beauty of your product is in its simplicity and its ease of use. It does change lives. Literally, my father-in-law bought a car over 3 years because he'd done it like that. And it was, so it's the little bits that count.
I think bringing those stories through and really making the people that benefit the heroes of it, because New Zealand's quite egalitarian, right? We actually want to make sure that we see people having the things that they need, and it's hard. It's not happening. So this is a counter. So yeah, kia ora.
Yeah, I just double down a little bit on what Rob and Kerry have sort of said there, and that, I mean, I previously worked in the financial services market, and to miss that now will be the death very quickly of anything, because you won't get an investor straight up and down. The second part there is that that risk there around it being turned into a Ponzi scheme or something that is used for nefarious means is really high and really prevalent, especially due to, you know, look, and you know, social prejudices about the types of people that you know, often find themselves in need of this particular service, which is a massively underserved area of the community. And you know, I saw that when I worked down in South Auckland a lot. You know, there's some real life-changing moments to come out of very simple things like this. One thing, and it belies the detail that you need to get into with the Financial Markets Authority and the financial services, is that actually you made a comment on there, and I wrote it down, and it was in your script, and it said the unemployed actually have the least predictable form of income. They actually have the most predictable form of income because it's mandated by the state. So they know exactly what they're going to get every week. And so, but this is really critical because we're in a numbers game. You've got to get really like strict and really formulaic with all of the numbers that you're talking about, because it's when it goes up for regulation or Financial Market Authority, you need to have something that is really defensible, and your numbers have really got to be, you know, really sticky. They've got to make absolute sense. How will you overcome that with the team that you've currently got?
With the team that I've currently got, I'll definitely need to be having long and lengthy discussions with Evan to understand, because he's connected to that space. So I need to get him to either maybe intro me to the right people that I need to be discussing these things with, and also understanding the landscape better so that I can actually rearrange, because there's 3 guest judges here pointing out something that needs validation is, it is validation for me. So I definitely need to rearrange that quickly and do that now. So I'll be certainly having conversations with Evan to make that happen.
Yeah, cool. And I noticed you saying conversations with Evan. I'd actually empower you to have conversations with the likes of Rob, Kerry, and myself, because we've got lots of people that we can put your way for a third party type discussion.
Oh, lovely.
Pro bono, right? So
thank you. I'd love to have those discussions. Thank you.
I'm afraid my last job, my last proper job, corporate job, was I used to run Lloyd's Bank for North America. So it's been 10 years, but got some memories and some scars of having to sign off on suspicious activity reports and all this kind of stuff. So happy to talk offline and give you some bits. It's 10 years out of date, but I can certainly dig back through the memories.
Thank you so much.
There's also other people in the ecosystem that have been through a similar journey relatively recently, in March this year, where they came up with an idea that had the same questions. They went into the Kokiri Accelerator program, and they very quickly got the same advice. And so you could actually talk to Tyrone Tangata Makiri, who's a great guy. And so I'd suspect that he'd be open to talking to a brother and just guiding him through. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd be confident to help.
Great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, Fred, the idea is fantastic. The 3 judges here are talking about risk mitigation. So You know what I mean? So the idea is valid to an extent because I am a Cook Islander who would like to save. So the idea is really good, but yes, the risk mitigation without a doubt. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, Fred, you do have a few minutes left. Do you have anything to add on?
Probably just to say thank you again, and to say that all advice is heard, and I'll certainly be applying it straight away. This definitely, yeah, the level of advice, I think I have to move straight away. It's not something I can leave till later. So thank you again. Yeah.
But also don't hold on this. Yeah, this is an important thing to do. This is a startup that needs to happen. It does, and don't give up on it. Don't delay, because I feel like this is something that all startups should have a reason to exist, right? And there's not really a greater reason to exist than this product. So do it. Do it now.
Thank you.
Yeah. And on that almost the same point. So just a quick question here around the ask that you had in there. I was 40K, right? As an investor, and Kerry and Rob obviously invest as well, we generally want to know what slice of the pie am I getting for my 40K, right?
Oh, okay.
These are the things, and you got to have an answer, because we want to know.
Oh, okay. I got to
Probably
get
not
better
enough
at that
as well.
too.
I think you probably need to add a 0 to that one.
Okay.
Because it's expensive, build this stuff, especially with the compliance side of things.
Yeah.
You have to, and to be honest, just as hard to raise 400 than it is to raise 40. Because once you get one over the line, everybody else comes in.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll just be very honest here. Like, generally we don't, and Kerry and Rob will know, regularly we fund anywhere between 200 and $1 million in terms of funding rounds, right? So 40K, 40K raises more questions than it does give you answers, right? We know it's not enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it. It's a good time to raise money right now. There's a lot of money in the market. A lot of people wanting to do impact investments. Go for it. Just go for 400 or maybe a bit more.
So what I'm hearing here is what I'm doing is worth it. How I'm doing it needs a bit of work, and then also when I pitched, I should have had my numbers a bit more clarified, and with the ask, it should have been in a better format.
Yeah.
Just be a bit more, put a bit more numbers to it. Put more zeros. Also, you did talk about New Zealand as a market. Don't forget, there's a lot of other emerging economies around the world that would benefit from this. So, we don't really fund things that just can exist in New Zealand, because we can't get the results we need from a small market, right? So, say New Zealand's the test, as it always is. People say that, which I wish they wouldn't. But anyway, New Zealand's the test market, but we've got Central America, we've got South America, we've got the African continent, we've got there's so many other opportunities. So go big, or just go big on it. Just tell us how big this could get.
I'm certainly inspired by the African market. I've been keeping an eye on it.
Should. I mean, look at what they're doing in West and East Africa. I mean, they don't have any, but they're all digital banking, and that's your place to start. Why not?
Rob will know this probably too, but the unbanked populations of Asia, Philippines, is they're in the tens of millions. Not they need something like this too.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they want it. I'm saying they need it. There's a difference.
There was a company that pitched me a couple of years ago in Techstars that was doing this in the Middle East. Again, all unbanked, lots of cash, and they raised like $1.5 million, and they were a seed stage company. So you can do the same thing. More.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Exciting. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the wheel again. Matt. Yay. Yep. So 1 minute elevator pitch from you, and then followed by the defense.
Okay. Just put this here. Go on, Matt, Think New Digital Solutions. And we believe the business data should be accurate, timely, and easily accessible through the business. Information blockages are costing businesses tens of thousands of dollars a year in inefficient processing and unnecessary double handling of tasks. We help businesses to achieve seamless data flow in inventory management, workflow management, and systems integration, leading business owners from feeling inefficient and frustrated to in control and productive. And that's who we are.
All right. Open to the questions from the judges.
So Matt, great that you're getting involved in this space. Interesting. I mean, look, data I know has got big problems in big, small, and medium corporates. So I have some experience doing data integration in ERP and financial system integration. The bespoke nature, though, of some of your solutions, it taught me through how they're really scalable, because I know from experience, not always are any two companies within the same industry exactly have the same needs. So I just want to know how that white labeling really works.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question, and it's the question that I came into the Tech Founders with. That was the whole thing that started this process for me, because yeah, it is bespoke at this stage, and I don't know how to scale it as a bespoke solution. What I do know is there's an awful lot of businesses out there that are suffering with this problem, and that's caused the out of the box solutions that have been developed have got that thing where they'll fix X amount of the problems. So right now, I don't know what that magic answer is. I've got to do it on a bespoke basis at the moment, and then what I can do is I can chunk it up a level and then license it. So what I'm hoping is going to happen, and what my vision is that as we go through solving more and more of these problems, we come up with a flexible way that we can actually make them more, make it so that we can scale the business, because we can make it so that each connection that they build can be a custom way of doing it. That's what I'm looking for, is a magic way to be able to build these connections that is flexible and can work for many businesses.
Can I just riff on that as well, Matt? So I think in terms of competitive analysis, right, you talked about Workflow Max and Sin 7. You know, there's a raft of them. The observation would be, you know, it's quite red ocean. There's quite a few people playing in there, and I guess getting very clear helping me get clear on where it is you want to play. It's still building on the same question that Campbell put in. So can you just drill into what makes you different? What makes this different? Because I'm not quite clear.
Yeah. So at the moment, the difference is I want to solve I'm looking for the niche, you know. So if out of the box solutions solve 80 to 90% of a business's problems, I'm targeting the 20% of people that don't have all of those problems solved. So I'm kind of coming at it from the different side from them. And like I said, this will grow. So I had to pick a product. We've had, much like we had like 5 to 7 minutes yesterday to put our presentation together, we've had 12 weeks to develop an entire business idea, and it's not enough time, you know. So I felt my presentation was rushed yesterday, and this whole thing is just the foundation, you know. So where I want to go from here is to start and target business owners. You know, now I've got my buckets now. I understand that we're looking for an inventory management, a workflow management, and systems integration. So what I want to do is go and target all the businesses now and put them into one of the buckets and grow it that way. And as we go along, my when I attract these people now, I'm looking to have problem solution interviews with them so that I can find out where is the problem that I need to solve. You know,
so Matt, just sorry, I hate to cut in there, but so from what I can understand, you want to start with the hardest bucket first and then work your way back to the easiest route to market. That's difficult to scale.
Okay. Yeah. So my thing is when I was doing my interviews, I came across, you know, MS Metals, and this guy's not digitalized in his business, you know. So that was where this came from, is because that's there. So if I can develop a solution for him, then how many more businesses aren't digitalized at this moment in time? So that's where I was going for. I don't know where the easier approach is. If I'm picking the hard part first, I was just looking for a niche of people. You know, I mean, 747 businesses is not a lot from that 0.5%, but it's enough to get me started. Because like I say, as we go through this, we will find a way that we can make this flexible and adaptable so that it can apply to many businesses and become scalable. But at this moment in time, I do hear what you're saying with, you know.
I think on that, I think that's a good point. I think it's about managing understanding and then managing the unit level economics of your business, right? What is the value of one unit of your business and what makes up that unit? And one of the biggest parts of that is a customer, right? And if you've got, let's say you have 744 customers, you're going to need a whole bunch of customer success people to manage all those customers, to make sure that they love it and they renew and all those other kind of things. And so just got to make sure you're charging enough. And if you're making an $80,000 a year difference in the health of a business, like I think was what you put on your slides, how much can you charge for that? Because it's a big change. Don't get me wrong, it's a big chunk of change, but it's not life-changing. It's in a horrible kind of way. It's not a huge amount. You can't charge that much for that, right?
Yeah.
So you got to just think about the cost of it.
They were the numbers that client gave me. You know, she came on as my early adopter. We developed a solution specifically for her. And when I asked her for her estimates, and that was just her staff, you know, I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, she's got 15 suppliers. And at this moment in time, with the way of the world, there's a lot of price increases going on. So what she was going to have to do was go in and individually do all of these price sheets for each supplier. All she's done with the system is she's uploaded a spreadsheet and it's been done. And what would have taken her three or four days was done in an hour. You know, so that's an impact that's come through on her business. She didn't quantify that time for me. She didn't put a value on her time, but she did put a value on her staff's time that she's noticing a saving of.
Right. Just and that's one other observation. When I looked at your slides, you were saying you're building obviously workflow, inventory, as well as systems integration. Those are three really big, very different businesses. And if you just did one of them, you could build a multi-billion-dollar business. But you're talking about doing all three, which I love the audacity and the courage of doing that. And that, you know, but what about if you just to do one and just crush it?
Okay, so the
and
reason
then do those other ones in Series C and F or whatever, you know.
That makes sense. The reason that it came that way is because I talked to Corinne at MS Metals, and he was doing his research, and he's going through and he's looking for a workflow software, and he cannot find one that fits what he wants to do. So each one of them, and he gave me his spreadsheet with all of the criteria. This is what I want to do. This is what they can do. And he's scored every single one of them. He's an analyst. So he's kind of like right into that type of stuff. And what we found was that he would have to, for him to do workflow management, he has to get an inventory management separate because there wasn't one to do both. So the thing that he wants to do in his business, if he's going to digitalize it, he wants to manage his workflow. But then what he also says to me is, I'm buying product. I buy my materials per job. He's like, if I had the system set up, he said I could look at what have I got coming up this month, and I can start and buy that amount for my business. So therefore, he gets more efficiency. The thing is if we're going to start doing purchase orders and we're going to start doing CRM systems, we're going to need to have some sort of inventory management process in there, because this is the big problem in his business. He gets a sheet of metal, somebody cuts off a chunk of it, and they go and use that for the job, and they put the rest in the shelf. What's in the shelf? He hasn't got a clue what's in the shelf. The only person that knows that material's in there is the person that put it in there. So the problem that he's having, that we're looking to solve for him, is that too much information is in people's heads, and we need a way to be able to get it visible in the business. But it doesn't just apply around workflow, it also applies around inventory, it applies around all of the different things, the staff members as well. So we need a more comprehensive solution. If my product didn't exist, then he would have to have a minimum of 2 to work with. And then it's creating this whole, it's that whole situation again, where you need to work around. You've got 3 different logins. Where's the source of truth? Who's keeping what up to date? So that's why I'm tackling the full thing. And again, because it's 2 very different customer bases. So might as well combine them into one. I've got, this guy talks to me about workflow management. I've got an accountant comes up to me talking about inventory management. Why wouldn't I solve them both when I'm being bespoke? And combining the 2, making it modular.
Sometimes though, it is always good to listen to your customers because they're the ones, but what's your vision? Because sometimes I can't tell you how many times a customer from some of our portfolio companies has said, oh, I'd like you to build an augmented reality feature, or I'd like you to do this. And you can't do all of it, right? So sometimes, yes, it is good to answer your customers' needs, but sometimes, you need to still make sure you're always focused on your vision and you're doing what you want to do, because they'll always throw ideas for you to do new add-ons, but you got to make sure it kind of fits within what you're trying to achieve. Otherwise you become a bit of a servant to them sometimes, and sometimes you've got to shepherd them a little bit,
Stand for something that's different. Yeah.
It's a great quote that I sometimes roll out from someone a bit more historical than myself, from Henry Ford. And they said, if I asked them what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Matt, I've got a final question from me. I loved in terms of when you got to the ask, but you sort of said, what you got out of the course, and you said that right up front here. I guess, you've got an opportunity now to talk to the judges about what you really need and create that ask. We've been pretty consistent in that for everyone presenting. Be really clear about what it is you're asking for. So what would you ask of the judges right now?
Okay. Well, obviously time is much more valuable than money. That's not to say that money's not important, and of course we need money to be able to develop solutions and things like that. What I've learned over the last 12 weeks is that my thinking has completely changed. I came into this process thinking that I was only going to be doing the inventory management thing. I didn't, and I've got this kind of I did have this vision when I came in, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. But learning from Melanie and Paul and going through all of the, the lean canvas, and we went through the ideation sessions and things like that, and all of these different things started to come up. It showed me that my thinking's limited. I only know what I don't know what I don't know. And that's the thing. So while I have a business coach who's very good for me, and he helps me to be able to clarify my thinking, and we've over the last 3 years we've worked really hard to narrow this down a little bit, because I used to bounce around from idea to idea and I was all over the place. And he's like, settle it down. We've kind of got down into this integration space now, but he can help me with the general business strategy. But what's more important is, in this industry, the people, the connections, the ideas. How does a tech startup work? He hasn't necessarily got that experience. So for me, the ask is about time. It's about mentoring. To be able to, I've learned so much in 12 weeks. To be able to take that onto another level as well with some one-on-one help, that would be massive for me. But money is still important. I'd love to finish this course on top. The competition is huge. The guys have worked so hard over the last 12 weeks. There's some great ideas out there, and whoever comes out on top today, it's a big boost for them. It's a brownie point. So that's cool.
Nice.
That's where I'm at.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to share with our tech founder, Tara Morana?
because I'm just all about comments and compliments. So after I listen to the other judges speak, to me, it just seems like split out the work. If they're saying to you that focus on one product and just split it out, I understand you've identified the problem and you see that it's an ecosystem issue. So it needs to be done. You say it needs to be done, and that's what one thing I always think about is separating empathy from stupidity when you're listening to customers. Take that one on. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you. I know you got a whole team behind you, so you do know what you're doing.
I think if you can distill empathy from stupidity, that's magic.
Yeah. We should all be building an app to do that.
That's right.
I love that. I learned a lot. I'm a UX designer, so
there you go.
Different than the empathy today.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Hey, we gotta put that wheel up again. Yes. All right, we have 3 more. Okay, here you go. It has to be Joe.
Joe.
Yay. Okay, Joe, over to you. 1 minute, elevator pitch.
Kia ora, everyone. Kia ora, Philip, Rob, Carrie, Kia ora, Moana, and Campbell. So my name is Joel, and I'm launching an impact venture. And my vision is really want to see New Zealand businesses thriving in the new world we are in during and post-COVID. And we want to help businesses get unstuck by matching them with next generation mentors. We really want to create a movement and ecosystem of next generation mentors and entrepreneurs. And we are also here to support social enterprises and nonprofits because we are an impact venture and we want to do that by launching this initiative. So I'm really looking forward to your insights. Kia ora.
Good.
Sweet. Question from the judges.
Who's going to roll the dice first, huh?
We need a wheel for that too.
That's right.
I love that wheel. That's the nicest piece of software I've seen in a long time.
Okay, I'll kick it off, Joel. Look, from me, I thought outstanding presentation and slide deck commentary on it. I think in terms of the flow, you had all of the constituent parts. Just define for me right up front, you talked about next gen mentors. What do you mean by that? Because you're trying to attract 800 of them. Just define what they are, who they are, and what do they get from being a part of your platform versus business mentors, the other platforms that are out there. EXO, there's one out of the US that a guy that I'm aware of, Remote Exec, for example.
Thanks, Carrie. When I started this idea, it actually started from a reverse mentoring model, where I want to see more young people and millennials sharing their passion, sharing their journey. So when I talk about next generation entrepreneurs and mentors, I was referring and focusing more on millennials, breakaway entrepreneurs, because they are idea machines and they've got purpose embedded in how they do business. Mm-hmm. They really care about the planet. And look at, for example, like potential personas like who you mentioned. What's his name again?
Exec, yeah.
Sorry, the one that you worked with when you did the hackathon. Tyrone, yes. Tyrone, Robert Hollis, Nico Rangaropo, Kendall Flutie, Guy Ryan. Yes. So what if there's an opportunity and there's a platform for them to share how they do things, how they travel the journey? I think that would be powerful for both people like me who really want to start a business, and also for those kind of mature entrepreneurs who are probably feeling stuck with everything that's happening with COVID and really want to change the way they do things or business. So that's my inspiration for this one.
Mm. And what do they get out of it? What's in it for them? Because I think about Manaki, right, and that they're doing, and that's a question for later in terms of the difference, right? But so what do your next gen mentors get from being a part of your movement, your kaupapa?
Yes, a couple of things. One is there's an opportunity to earn income. So of course, there'll be mentoring fees. It's up to them how they think they should be charging for their time that they want to commit to supporting other businesses. But also insights from Business Mentors NZ. These mentors and entrepreneurs really want to give back as well. And that's, as you mentioned, the concept of Manaki Tanga, the concept of Tautoko, the concept of us coming together really in a bigger sense and being part of the ecosystem that supports each other as well. So I think three things. One, there's an income opportunity. Second, there's this platform that you can give back to the ecosystem. And second, being part of the ecosystem might also help one another. Sometimes you might get stuck in certain things, or just the concept of AFI, being there for each other. So I think that's what they might get out from participating.
Have you validated that in terms of?
I did. I interviewed 12 successful entrepreneurs. And all of them want to give back to the community. All of them feel that the platform is something that they can use to share their what they've learned, their experience, and their skills, but also as a way to earn some income.
Okay. I think I've monopolized the questions. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Kerry.
So just a quick one on that, Joel. I'm just a little bit concerned around the order of the way that you address the mentorship view here, and that is, number one was an income opportunity. That raises a big flag for me, because that says to me, actually, that's not real impact and that's not real mentor. Because actually a lot of mentorship, especially from organizations that I've been involved with, is either pro bono, or it's, some of it's equity driven, but some of it's in kind generated. And so therefore there is no fees, but there is connection, there is network, there is all of these things. And I feel that there's an danger, especially when you're talking about 800, 800 mentors. The oldest millennials, hitting 40 this year, right? So that's in there. But 800, I'd struggle to think that there's 800 new mentors sitting out there looking for a revenue opportunity, an income opportunity. So that's a thing that I think you need to address a little bit better.
Yes, that's a really good point. In fact, now thinking about it, it's the coming together, isn't it? It's more about giving back. It's more about sharing compared to the core of them participating being just earning income. Yes, so that's a really good point.
Yeah, when I start
appreciate that.
So when you start going non-exec director and there's a stipend on being on the company board, yes, I can see where the monetary term flows in. Or there's direct business coach / business strategy issues. Yeah, I can see that. But mentoring, I could meet Joel. I could mentor you for hours and hours and hours as long as you keep paying me. Yeah, I'll find things to mentor you about. Right, that would be an issue.
Thanks, Campbell.
I think I'm just curious to know how you rate the mentor. There's a lot of mentors out there, but some of them aren't that great. I've had some bad mentors in my career, and I've got some amazing ones.
Yes.
And so how do you make sure that you have enough quality, and then that quality has enough bandwidth to mentor all the people who need their advice?
Good question. Thanks for that, Rob. I was thinking of even before you can charge for your mentoring fee, the first 2 sessions would be clinics that you need to offer for free. So in exchange for that, there'll be proper reviews and testimonials coming from those who you are helping. Also as a way to build reputation and get some track record in the platform. So the first 2 sessions would be 45 minutes free that you offer to the platform that provides us with legitimate reviews and testimonials from participants.
I'll put that in your deck because I didn't see that much in it. I spoke all about the one side of the marketplace, or a two-sided marketplace, right? You got to create the network effects at both ends, and I didn't see the network effect on the number of mentors. And yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think there's also things you could do around tests or aptitude tests, or get them to upload their LinkedIn data, using LinkedIn API to hook that in and see how many connections they really got. Yeah, there's stuff like that.
Thank you. And if I can add as well, one thing that I've validated is you need to, apart from skills and expertise, there's also the chemistry between a mentee and a mentor, and that's really important. So instead of just, so a mentee can post a problem or an issue or challenge they're facing, but before you lock in that mentoring relationship, there'll be video introductions. Because sometimes if it's just text message or a messaging app or via email, it's hard to see body language and the way you feel about that person. So we really want to make a connection, and we can do that through video introductions.
Cool.
I wouldn't want to spend any time with a mentor where it's just through text message, frankly. Like you had me a text message, I'm off. I'll find someone else. Just a quick one, and it's something that I've found when I've been doing mentorship of some small value techs is you need to make sure you got the right mentors that know when to get off from their specific expertise, because a lot of mentors will say that they're specifically, they're experts in so many different areas, but actually they're really only an expert in one, and they know a little bit because they searched Google 10 minutes before you met them, and they just know a little bit more than you do about something. And the second one, because that's false expertise, and that's a little bit verging on criminal in my view. And the second bit is often the problem is that clients will stick with a mentor because it's the best mentor that they've ever had, because it's the first mentor that they've ever had, and that mentor gets a really good rapport because the client hasn't met the second mentor yet. They haven't met someone to compare them with, and that's I'd like to know how you're going to solve that.
Oh, thanks, Campbell. So within the platform, there are no lock-ins. So you're free to choose before you create that relationship with a mentor. So with different avenues to find a mentor, one is you can search the platform or the community. You can see the reviews and testimonials, who they are, what they've done. And second is by posting a specific challenge that you're facing. So again, with the platform, you are not locked into just one mentor. Again, that's an experience or an insight we found from mentors in Business Mentors NZ, and also the mentees in Business Mentor NZ. Sometimes because they don't have the information right in front of them, it's been done through a middle person who creates that, I guess, profile of the mentor before that gets passed down to mentee. you can't see their expertise or skills. It's up to that intermediary to create that relationship for you. But if you can see profiles of mentors based on different filters that you put in, I think hopefully that would give you matches. And if one doesn't work, you have that information in your account for the other ideal matches. And hopefully you can
can I just pick up on that? I guess what was going through my head is, and possibly everyone else was, about relationships, right? And so I was kind of going between mentor polygamy and or mentor finding your soulmate, And so I think we need to place to stand would be my Weirdo, my challenge for you. I think that. There's someone said to me the other day, in Māori there's the word tuku, and it's probably out of context, right? But it actually means that there's mana subscribed at a particular time for a particular season. And I think, to pick up on Campbell's point and to riff off Rob, I think it's the right relationship at the right time. And I think that becomes a value proposition, right? So, which leads me to the question about competitive analysis. And, I like that you leant into business mentors. I thought you did, kind of a really good comparison against that. But that is a very different model, right? And you're not subscribing to that model. In fact, you're a new gen model. So my question was, and that's very New Zealand orientated and very high touch.
Yes.
We live in a digital world, and so there's other competitors out there like Remote Exec and Manaki, etc. How are you different? Where's your IP? What's the thing that makes you different and stand out?
Very good question, Kerry. So I've looked at Manaki. I've also looked at international mentoring platforms. So with the international ones, I found them really hard to navigate. And the mentor fees are expensive. So they charge between 25 to 30% commission. So that sets me apart, because I would want to charge only 20% commission. But apart from that, I think my core UVP would be a couple of features. One is it's called Mentor Collab. So two or more mentors can work together and offer packages to mentees or people. So you don't have all the expertise nor skills in the world, but if you team up with someone that complements you, then you provide more value to your customers. So that's one. Second, I want to introduce some time swaps. So within the mentor ecosystem, what if we can exchange time instead of money? Now, I don't know how to monetize that yet. But again, say I'm in front of Kerry, say in 2 years, if I'll be successful, what if we can use the platform to exchange ideas? There probably no hourly fees exchanged, but there'll be time and expertise and experience exchange. Yes, so those are the two things that I'm working on. That is not in any of the mentoring platforms that I have seen.
Just an observation. There was a poll that was done on LinkedIn. It was just getting a poll. There's separate polls, and obviously they polled what is the sentiment within the business community at the moment in terms of the greatest need or greatest worries. And in there, it was around cash flow, clearly. It was around well-being of themselves and their people, and it was about growth of their people. And so there's 3 areas in there that you could actually bring that co-design, and lead with a proposition in. Now that becomes an area where you start lining up around the need for businesses right then and there, and it starts meanings that you're getting away from this one-to-one soulmate, and you're moving more into a polygamy, a relationship, but you're more in the need, Yeah, does it? I'm not sure.
Yes,
that
yeah,
I wouldn't want to
it
take
does,
that
yeah.
metaphor too far, right? 'Cause,
I like the polygamy analysis analogy.
it becomes quite an awkward metaphor.
All right, Joe, you only have 1 minute. Do we have any question from Tara Moana?
No, not really. I thought part of this was that they supply specific insights to the business. Is that part of it or not?
Some would, again, based on their experience and expertise,
Right.
they would have those skill set that they would answer specific challenges and issues of businesses wanting answers.
Yeah, because we have the RTP program at work and stuff like that. And the thing for me is always, and I get asked it all the time, people are asking me for competitive market insights. And I'm like, but you already started a business, why are you coming to me? That's a huge part. So
Yes,
that's a need. That's an absolute need.
I agree.
And it's around the stats of, let's say, the number of Māori in Pacific they're involved in creative tech is under 6%. So those understand that market to be able to take advantage of specific places. But yeah, I think it's great. But I work with you, so yeah.
Thank you, Tara Moana.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. It was a very challenging sessions for you, I must say.
I welcome all the it's basically, this is free mentoring, so thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. If I can say, go for it, Campbell.
I was going to say, if you want challenging, I haven't got onto the investment ask, but because this is all the nice stuff. When we get on the investment analysis, it's real hard mahi.
Yes.
But anyway, Joel, you do your bit.
Thank you. I've all added you into my LinkedIn, so I will reach out to you.
That was quick. That was quick.
Never miss an opportunity.
Let me check my.
All right, cool. So
Thank you.
I think we should have 5 minutes break because my chair start complaining. So yeah, let's have 5 minutes break. And to make it easier, I have got 2 songs. One takes about 3 minutes, the other one takes 2 minutes. So the end of 2 songs, that means we have to come back. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you after 5 minutes, and go and grab a coffee with your smiley face. Oh, not smiley face, sorry. All right. Thank you. All right, welcome back. We have two more tech founders who are yet to share. So I'll just ask Sumit or Candy, do you want me to spin the view, or you just decide who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay, cool. All right, over to you, Candy.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Candy Corvette, tōku ingoa. I'm a co-founder of Tohu Media, Tohu meaning mark, sign for something, and we're looking to be the signature standard for providing smart shot lists for TV producers to publish their content faster with distributors and networks. At the moment, it's a very, very manual process, especially in regards to describing shots. So that takes a while. There's the current tools are not that great from my exploration and my experience. And so we're looking to provide a better interface, digitize the process of creating these shot lists. And it's not only about making it faster for TV producers to publish their content, but these shot lists do a lot more than that. They actually help transform a film. So when the distributor or network gets a shot list, they're able to then transform the film into another language, into captioning for the hearing impaired, for audio description for the vision impaired. And it's that last one, making content available for the vision impaired. That's actually my biggest goal, and probably the hardest, is making more content available for the vision impaired. And it comes back to, I used to describe content, the favourite TV shows for my kuia, who's now gone, but yeah, that's the biggest goal, is to make more content available for the hearing and vision impaired. But I'm beginning with being able to make it easier for TV producers to publish their content faster. So that's the step. So making it faster and making that whole pipeline a lot more transparent for television producers and distributors, and back to those those TV creators. Ngā mihi.
Yeah, I totally understand why Candy takes a little bit more time to explain her product, because it's really not easy to describe. I mean, I personally, when we were in the mentorship, we don't know what is that. And I've been talking to Candy, saying that, Candy, you really need to make your product really, really reachable and break it up. So that's actually being done in her video. Okay, question to you, judges. From you, sorry.
Hi, Candy, how are you? So really great that you mentioned this vision and hearing impaired. I just like to point out one thing that I really didn't want to hear in your pitch video, is that I had to read your slides rather than listen to you talk, and that's a key component there of that hearing and vision impairedness, that you had a lot of sounds that were going on in your video, and that actually detracted away from what your core message really was, which is great. Second of all, I spent almost 8 years at Sky UK, working in a variety of different projects. I actually understand the fundamentals of media and film relatively well, so this is good. And I'm invested into a company in this particular type of digitization of media. My question really though, Candy, to you is I can see in some of the data that you provided, in that it's quite a slow journey to get into traction with working on one or two different clients. And I agree that it's a very specific niche play that you're going for here, but the question that I've got there is it worth it? Because that's
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yes, it is, because with the tools that are currently available, they're not that great. And I know what's required to make it a lot better by being able to train models using my customers' data. And I think it is worth it, because the long-term goal is to make that whole process, as I said, transparent, and making content more accessible for the hearing and vision impaired, especially the vision impaired. For me, that is worth it.
Yeah, and okay, great. So, because I actually believe in what you're doing. I think what you're doing is really great. And what I really loved, and Candy was one of the only ones to actually show this in her financials, right? Is that year 2, you go backwards, right? And that's exactly right, because you're plowing everything into the business. Everyone else who pitched didn't. It was, your classic, I'm gonna smash this, it's out the park. But you had a real resonatory sort of, oh yes, no, this definitely happens in a lot of investments, and I expect there to be a blip. And so I appreciate the real thinking that's gone into those financials. So that's really awesome. And I'm glad it's worth it, because I think it is too.
I spent 10 years living in Los Angeles and around the entertainment business, and invested in a few films, and just funded a new one actually in New Zealand, which I'm really excited about. And we should talk about that, your product maybe being a part of that actually, Candy. It's part of Taika's new production company, and it's a really cool new movie called The Mountain. And so happy to take this to them. That aside, I think what you're doing is cool. I think it's very much needed. With technology, and you've mentioned about models, and my ears pricked up, because I'm a former data scientist, so I started thinking about machine learning, and I'm thinking that's really cool. So talk to me a bit more about those models.
Yes. So I currently use a combination of speech to text, which is doing pretty good with English, and okay with a New Zealand accent. But if you click on the menu, there's no option for Te Reo Māori. And it comes up as Googly Glock, and it makes my process a lot more manual. I also want to use facial recognition to be able to identify multiple speakers, because at the moment, the speech to text are only relying on audio. And as human beings, we rely on audio and visual to be able to identify multiple speakers. And so I feel like I can train a model to be able to use not only audio technology, but facial recognition to match the characters in the script with the picture of the character, to help identify multiple speakers a lot faster, because I have to provide the characters of who's speaking as well, as you've seen in the shot list. And I also want to use action recognition to be able to help describe what's happening in a shot. And I want to do that because I can see a bit of a pattern when I'm describing shots with a lot of the content that I do, that there is a pattern. You set up a scene, and then it's talking heads. And I feel like with South Pacific Pictures and my clients are wanting to lend me their data to train models on. So I want to build on top of Microsoft Azure's video analyzer and be able to also create our own.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I would try and, because I take it your natural language processing for text, are you using the Google API for that? Are you using some other third party for that?
Yes, it is. It has been Google API, and it's not that. Yeah, it's not that great.
It's not that great.
No.
But most of these products are rubbish. All you got to do is look at IBM Watson and realize how much vaporware that is. I'd encourage you to start trying to build your own models and not using too much third party, because that's where you build real value, and you've got very particular expertise. And so if you could train models on Te Reo Māori, wonder what you could do with other less commonly used languages. You know,
Yes.
suddenly, you know, like I'm from Cornwall. There's 150 Cornish speakers. I'd like to have a lot more than that, right? So, you know, I think there's a really cool market opportunity for you to go beyond to these things.
Yes, well, sorry.
I just want to say much for you for going down this pathway, and the courage you've got for tackling of this problem. It's a very specific problem. I think it's pretty damn cool.
Mahi.
Good, Candy, Kerry. Yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, acknowledge you're a parent. You know, I don't know you, but you come across as from domain expertise. You're in it and you're living it daily. And I love the connection to your whānau and how you created that connection of relaying to your sight impaired grandfather, sorry.
Yeah, queer, yes.
Queer, kia ora, yeah. And so, you know, giving the gift of that to others really drew me in. And so the question I've got is it's kind of building on Rob's actually. It's really you know, your customers, you've got customers, right? You've got revenue. So I'd like to acknowledge that. Why have they come to you? What is it that they see in you and what you have right now that they see as your unique value proposition? The thing, and then there's a corollary to that question is how might you create models that build the IP?
Thank you. So firstly, after interviewing my customers, I asked them what was most important to them out of price, accuracy and speed. And they said they ranked them with accuracy being the most important, then speed, then price. And so that's what I've been working on all this time, is to be as accurate as possible, as fast as possible. My prices are pretty reasonable. So yeah, that's and it's been built over time and reliable. I deliver on time. And I think the most important thing is keeping their content confidential. So I never ever because we get content just before it goes to air. So that's important is maintaining that trust for the clients. And I think that I'm able to build a better models to recognize video if I have data that can be trained on that. Specifically, for example, South Pacific Pictures data, they're really keen to give me their data to train something for them.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess acknowledging your origin story, right? And I wonder out loud, because there's some wonderful models, particularly from Te Ao Māori and Mataranga Māori, around data modelling and protection of data, etc. So to what extent might that be built into your proposition as a lead to say, well, we treat data taonga and the way that we do this, the way that we engage with that. I don't know how valuable that might be to your customers. Particularly, I feel that content is only going to increase, and the need to have other voices in the market is only going to need to increase. Therefore, having something that protects the voice and the taonga that is data might be a lead prop. You know what I mean? So observations, commentary on that?
Yes, thank you. So that's why I've have a verbal partnership with Te Hiku Media. Te Hiku Media, who have created a speech-to-text application of Te Reo Māori. It's an open source application, but they prioritise Māori-led organisations to be able to use that API. So they've offered to let me use the API for free until proof of concept. And their philosophy is to make sure that the language, wherever that language has been sourced for, benefits that community. So that's why I decided to. Actually, it was one of the fellow technical founders who was on here that suggested I go to Te Hiku Media, because people have been telling me I'll go to Google and go to all of them, but to be tūturu, I've decided to partner with Te Hiku Media.
Kia ora.
This is actually their kaupapa. They're already being funded. They're already on the pathway to make low resource languages available.
Yeah, and just linking that, I guess in some ways picking up on the conversation again around Taika and you know, those people in the industry. So Grant Straker, right, and Straker Translations, and creating a relationship there. That, you know, Grant might see as a new offering. He might be thinking about that. He might want to accelerate it. So I don't know how you feel about that, but, you know, from a market approach, I felt that it was a little bit, I like the aspiration. I just felt that there needed a little bit more detail for me in the go-to-market approach. And so the reason I'm throwing that up is I think there's a few potential ways to go to market on that. Yeah. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yeah. We've already had a kōrero, ne, Candy. And yeah, you already know my thoughts around the validity of the product itself. And expanding on the idea around market as well, if you partnered up with Māori Television and language resource money from central government and looked at how you would place with the World Indigenous Television Broadcasting Network, so you reach out to Turtle Island, up to Taiwan, there will be money that will be set aside, working with central government to pull that together with this mahi. And maybe looking at, I was working with an entrepreneur where they are building software, and then when they move to the next company, and it's because of the kaupapa that they're dealing with, this company will give something that'll add something to that software. And that's a koha to the next lot of people, and that's how it's paid forward throughout this network of organizations. And it keeps the cost down as well as you develop. I can talk to you about that a little bit later and connect you to the person who's actually doing it. But yeah, atahua, I love it.
I think just one thought for me, I suppose, was talking about film and TV, and granted those are big markets, but I'd also wonder how your product could apply to gaming as well as short form digital, social content as well, because you know, we've just made an investment into a gaming studio and we're trying to make the game as accessible as possible to hard of sight and hard of hearing, and to people who different languages as well. And so be really curious to know whether you could do that. For one, you then open yourself up to a market that is like the biggest entertainment market in the world. And there's this constant, and there's more, right? There's more games being produced every hour and being sold on Steam, right? So again, if you could have a product that could tie into that, makes your total addressable market just infinitely bigger, and the velocity of content infinitely bigger. The more content you have, better your models get. You know, good data in, good data out. And so, yeah, I would be curious.
Oh yes, so we were fortunate to have Maru Niho come in, speak with us, and Amber.
Amber Taylor?
Yes, from Ara Journeys. And during that session, I took full opportunity to validate whether the shot list could be applied to gaming, and Maru said that our processes are similar between gaming and TV production. So she's encouraged me to go and talk with her to figure out how we can find a way to make it work for the gaming industry.
Cool.
It's a good shout.
Yeah, it's great.
Great. The moment I step in, that means I have to pass it to the next person. I gotta be mindful about our time. Sumit, you are the one next. Sumit, 1 minute elevator pitch from you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sumit. It takes a lot of time, money, and effort to find the right vendor to plan and host an event. EventSub is a two-sided one-stop event marketplace for all your event needs. Why we are unique? Because you can compare prices according to your budget, customize bundle, you can read and write reviews and rating. We verify all vendors. You can make instant booking on the platform. We cater for all size of vendors and host. We also offer awards to vendors on meeting milestones. Thank you.
Great questions. Great questions.
Sumit, thank you.
Thank you.
Feedback there on the line, sorry. So
Feedback there on the line, sorry. So
okay, so look, in terms
in terms
events under COVID, interesting
events under COVID, interesting
for you and running. What made you pick
you and running? What made you pick this one?
So sorry, you're cutting out. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, so event management.
Event management. COVID.
Is anyone else getting that feedback?
Is anyone else getting that feedback?
Yeah, I think Sumit, you need to mute.
Yeah, I think Sumit, you need to mute.
Okay, let me try that now, Sumit. I suspect that's possibly the way the microphone's set up, but thank you. I'm not getting it now. Yeah, so look, in terms of COVID, event management area events hit quite significantly. Good on you for taking it on. Market would be at the lowest it is for a while. What made you pick event management itself as an area and a domain?
So I've been working in. I used to own events management business back in Fiji, and when I came over here, it was always a nightmare to find right vendors for events. So I'm one of the tech-savvy ones in my extended family. All of my family members used to come to me and say, "Hey, we have this event. Somebody has passed away, or we're having this party. Can you look for event vendors?" Right? So it was very difficult for me to find. I always had to Google, and on Google you don't know anything about the vendor. You have no knowledge about the vendor. So I thought it's the right time. The market's not going to be always like this. The market is down, and it's a good time to get the platform up and running. And once the market is back and normal, yeah, things will get started then.
Cool. Thank you.
Sorry, I've got my notes here. Just got to find them. No, in terms of event space, I mean, there's obviously a lot of companies kind of trying to have a chip at this market, and it is challenged by the COVID environment. But what's your you said about revenue kind of being around like clipping tickets, right? But with tickets, I think being artificially deflated because of the new rules around lockdowns and all these other kind of things. I mean, what about kind of having a bit more of a blended revenue model where it's not just 10% of clipping the ticket, but also some subscription revenue or some more repeatable recurring revenue? What would be your thoughts to that, Sumit?
So there is subscription model where it's for premium members, premium listing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's free listing. Okay. There's a premium listing, and there's 10% of the whole booking goes to the platform.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Okay, I've got some more questions, but I'll let somebody else jump in.
So I've got a couple. Sami, can you go on mute while I'm talking? Thank you. So to get this clear in my head, only the event spaces that are listed on your platform are searchable on your platform. And so therefore no event spaces that aren't on your platform are searchable in your platform. How are you going to get customers onto your platform to start with? Because I'm not going to go there. And this is a very real business decision. And you need to be able to drive that. you're dealing with an events industry. I know a founder of a ticketing company. He's sitting out the rest of COVID level 4. He tried to do some stuff last year. There's some articles written about him. I won't mention his name, but this is a real issue that, you know, a lot of events are actually quite small. They're very specific. They're very location centric, and people already know where they're going to hold them because there are a lot of known places because the location is quite specific. So I don't quite understand how you're going to get the searchable outside community to go to your platform to find events and event space when there's not really enough event space on your platform.
So after having a interview and sort of research from the customers, I got to know that like they're saying it's very hard to find the right vendors, right? They have to Google, they have to ask the friends and families, or if they have been to an event, they found someone at the event that, oh, they've done a good job there. But they're not sure about their history. So this platform here, it's like instant. You see what you want, right? And then you book it straight up. So when I was having a chat with the customers, with the vendors, they're saying that if you have a subscription model upfront, we're not going to come to you. We're not going to list you. But if it's free, everybody wants free listing, right? And they'll come and list it for free. And if they get a booking, they're happy to buy. Does that answer?
That's only a one-way business model.
That's only a one-way business model, though.
Your problem's not getting people onto your platform. Your problem's getting customers to go onto your platform to search for people that are on your platform. I'm struggling with the concept in totalness and wonder if it's if you need a bit more validation there from both, especially from the customer set and yeah, I think the validation here is critical to your next step.
Yeah, no, Totoko, that from my perspective, I think I had a question about what level of validation has been done, both of the problem but also of the potential customers themselves. And so I'd be interested to understand that.
So once the platform is out there, then out in the market, people knows about it, they'll use it. Like like TradeMe, right? It's just like TradeMe. You know, like
no, it's not.
It's not.
Have we lost him? Oh no, he's back. Yeah, your platform's a lot more like Airbnb than it is about TradeMe, right? Because you're effectively looking for a place with that has, you know, great aesthetics, great guest experience. You're actually nothing like TradeMe. Just TradeMe is this is that price until someone sets the price on the market. If you were TradeMe, you would actually have a bidding function that drove up the price of your event, i.e. Mondays at 12 p.m. it's $3.50 an hour. You know, Saturdays from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. it's $100 an hour. Right? That's a bit more like TradeMe. You're effectively a lot more like Airbnb. But to Rob's point, you know, how about being you for that particular space rather than something, you know, a well-known company for a space. So I'm not sure. I think that getting the customers to use, I think you may have over-egged the event market a little bit. I don't actually, I struggle to see that there's a problem there that's really worth solving. And that's critical. You must be solving a problem that's worth solving to get buy-in. And that's the bit that I really need answered.
I think I have to do more validation on that with the customer. So like at the moment, the customers I've talked to and the vendors I've talked to, they're saying once the platform is out there and it's marketed, like everybody will try and see how it goes. If they like it, they'll be using it in future. If they don't like it, they'll go away. Just like other the competitors I have, one is Event Planner. I never heard about it, right? Unless until I found it on Google. And there's another one, Parties and Celebrations, similar. I never heard about it unless until I started this program. I started looking for all the competitors, and then I got to know that there's something like this. Does it make sense?
Yeah, unfortunately you may have answered your own problem.
You may have answered your own problem.
I have to do more research in validation, I would say, to find the answer for that.
Yeah, because I think that the core of the idea is good in terms of if you're looking for an event planner, but maybe you could pair it up with something like how council has a whole bunch of venues and people come and hire the venues, the community people that come in to hire the venues, because that's already access to a network of venues already that people use. And they might be looking for an event planner. So connecting them that way possibly could be a starting point, or just an alternative approach to what you're doing. Maybe think about it in a smaller sort of prototype sense in that way, and being able to just check out what they have, because is it something like 150 plus venues that council has, Auckland Council has, and maybe talk to the arts events team because council trying to save money. So something like this could possibly slot in there. I get I understand what you're talking about, Sumit, about being able to find event planners. I'm an event manager, so every job I've ever had has been from word of mouth, and I've worked for the mayor, and I'm like a rapper, so people have just trusted me in the things that I've done. So, but I've done tour management, event management. I've done international tours, and it's been word of mouth. There hasn't been a place. I don't really put stuff up on a website to tell people what I've done. And those people that have said that I've done a good job, that's how I've got my next job. So I get it. But yeah, it'll always be around that verification thing, because you just can't, it's hard to maintain that. That's a risk thing for me, to be able to actually trust that space, because I have also been burnt in that space too by people that have hired me. So that protection elements, huh? But yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have to move to the next agenda, which is the breakout rooms for judges. Thank you so much for all your feedback. And I'll quickly get Ellen to assign the judges to a separate room. That would take about 15 minutes. So at the same time, tech founders, you can sort of relax a bit for 15 minutes while we will have another round of discussions. You know what we will discuss. All right, so over to you, Ellen. Just waiting for you to assign the breakout rooms, and judges, you will get an instructions to enter to the breakout rooms.
Alrighty.
Hi, thank you so much. So we will just give you maybe 5 to 10 minutes to work on your scoring sheet. And then after that, we will have some discussions to assign the winners and who is going to give feedback to who. All right, so I'll just leave that 5 to 10 minutes over to you for the scoring.
So we're going to talk about it, or going to do it in private?
Should we talk about it?
I think we should talk about it. I'm not really I don't really want to watch you typing in the Google sheet.
I think Diana was dreaming when she thought you'd need an hour to do this. Prior to I've spent at least two and a bit hours.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, I was really underestimating with I.
Sorry, got lost on the way. Yeah.
All right, I'll just hand it over to your discussions.
How would you like to do it? So we don't have a format for this. So if someone's got a great way of facilitating this, please let us know. But what we really was hoping is maybe if you can start with telling us which would be your top 2 picks, and then we can have a chat from there. That's like a good idea. Rob, shall we start with you?
All right. Well, my first pick is probably the most obvious one for me. I'm probably pretty vocal and obvious about what that is, and that is wealth. Just because of the global nature and size of the problem, it's a great problem to solve. Fred's got a long way to go to solve it, but he's tackling something that is huge, and that's what I get.
Sorry, Rob. I think just to avoid biasness, I think what we can do is that I will just ask around and have the first round of voting from everyone. So let's say wealth. Yeah, let's say wealth, and you can only choose 2, because if we do more, and then we might influence the other judges. Although it must.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I will just begin with, and then after that we will just have the feedback from everyone. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's more fair.
Okay.
All right. So since we started with wealth, okay. I'm calculating the votes right now. Wealth, and Rob, we have 1 vote from you.
Yeah, so Tohu is probably the other one. My number is,
okay.
Basically joint one number.
Ooh, okay, so how about Terra Moana? What's your votes?
Can I have 4?
No, only 2.
4.
Yeah, the top 2.
Yeah. Probably wealth.
Okay.
And safe screw. Is that how it's said?
Yeah, safe scroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kerry.
Can I just confirm that this is about the state of investment readiness, right? So is that kind of the who's investment ready and the most and the closest to actually getting at least some level of support? Is that what I'm aiming at?
Yeah, because that's a very different vote than.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
So because I need that frame of reference. Sorry to be a dick, but what's our matariki? What's our Southern Star that we're aiming for? And I was always working on the basis that it was about, okay, of these people, we know it's early stages, but who's investment ready? That was kind of what I thought, and I'm happy to go otherwise, but that would be helpful for me to know.
We don't have any criteria. What do you think, Dana?
Be there.
Sorry, yes, we did, Kerry, and to your point, I definitely briefed you to say that. So we did start off saying that it is going to be the most investment ready venture or the most promising venture. And that's where we should focus, North Star. Yeah.
Nice. So most investment ready or promise. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So on that basis, I think I'm going to answer that in terms of who's investment ready or more investment ready. I think potentially Toho. They actually have some revenue. They've got some customers. I like the fact that. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'll come back to that. And then Odd Totoko on that basis. I'd say the close second for me around that would be Jade and SafeScrow. And I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm not trying to claim everything, but I also think that God, sorry, I'm just trying to find my papers. I've lost her. Where is she? What was the other lady's name? Sorry, I've missed it.
Andy.
Yeah.
All right. So so you have voted Toho Media and SafeScroll.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just no feedback at the moment, and until we round up the votes, and then we will just open for another round of discussions. Campbell, how about you?
So, two different voting spectrums. One falls out, unfortunately, if you're talking about investment ready. So, I'd have to go Tohu as well for
more investment.
Yeah, it's something that could be done. And then it becomes all about the person for me. So just take SafeScrow as well.
All right.
Yeah. Obviously, then I'm switching out to bloody Tohu. Okay, yeah, sweet.
To bloody Toho.
Yeah. I wanted 4, so they were one of them.
Okay, so we have.
So
Sorry.
Sean, I think that Rob needs to just confirm whether, because we had this discussion after Rob had voted, and Rob needs to.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Is there any? Okay. Yeah, what's your you remains with Rob? Are you there?
Yeah, wealth is not investment ready yet, sadly. To be honest, I actually kind of feel like I've only got one now because I don't see the rest of them being particularly.
Okay. So Rob and I are in the same camp. One's investment ready, the others aren't. It is very simple. We're just giving a shot to someone.
Kia ora. Yeah. Odd Totoko.
Yeah, like a wild card. Yeah, in that case, the stands the same, but noting that wealth is a wild card, not investment ready.
Yeah.
So do you mean there's no votes for you?
Tohu is my vote. Yeah.
All right. So that's the only vote for Tohu, right?
Well, again, if we're going down that pathway, then yes. I mean, if there was, the rest aren't ready for investment yet. Yeah.
Okay. So let me summarize from round 1 of votings. In this case, Wealth have 1 vote, Tohu 3, and SafeScroll 3. So
sorry. Can I just throw a spanner in here? Because what's the second prize again?
That's $3,000 funding grant plus 5 hours of mentorship. So the first is $3,500 funding grant. That's the seed funding plus 10 hours of technical mentor and plus 4 weeks of fully paid developer.
Okay, so bearing in mind that we've discussed that actually none of the others are actually really development ready, I'd like to change my SafeScrow to Wealth, please.
Okay, so let's let's move on to the round 2. So are there any changes except Campbell?
Well, I suppose, I mean, yeah, if we're going to do, I'll keep mine. If we are going to have 2 votes, sorry to keep, yeah.
No,
I'll
that's
keep
all
mine
right.
for
That's
the
why we
second.
have,
Yeah.
actually, we will have 3 rounds. All right. All right. So any changes from anyone for round 2 of votes?
So just picking up on it. So for me, it's the person. I think either between Fred or Jade, it's the decision to be made. I think equally it's about the opportunity, and I think they both deserve it of it. I personally loved Jade's personal story.
Actually, Hank. Oh, sorry, Kerry. Sorry, I've just had a realization. This is just all stupid. But
yeah.
I'll match for the 3rd prize.
Okay.
Nice, Campbell.
All right, the 3rd prize. Oh, we don't have the 3rd prize, but we do have.
No, you do. You have 2 second prizes.
Oh, okay. What I mean is that the next prize is $2,000, 2250 funding grant, plus 1 hour of mentor for those who have scored more than 60.
Right. Okay.
So that means for those projects who have scored more than 60 marks, they all get this prize. But it's just that we don't announce it, ahead of time. We just want to give them a surprise.
Can I make a suggestion? And so I guess everyone gets recognised for contributing time. I think what we're looking for is a recognition, and it might be what we've done in the situation before is create on the fly and advance to go. And so I guess Campbell, given that incredibly kind gesture, maybe we put that to you in terms of what an advance to go looks like from your perspective, as a thought.
Sorry, Campbell, did I hear that right? Did you say you're going to match?
For the third prize. Yeah. So I'll fund the grant.
Awesome. Thank you.
However, because otherwise I'm coin flipping, and I'd rather give someone a shot than flip a coin.
Good man.
Awesome.
All right.
We need to decide between safe escrow and wealth in terms of who is number 2 and number 3.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So I can, I'll give you my. So I'd scored on the scoring basis. I scored across the board. Jade higher than Fred, and that was just on the basis that I think that Fred had a lot more work to do, highly valuable space and worth a shot. So I'd put Jade second and Fred third.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my view.
Me too.
Yeah, I looking at my scores for the guys. I actually had safe scroll actually a little bit lower because I think there's some regulatory stuff in there that's actually harder to chew on, much the same as Fred's got. But I scored Fred higher mainly because of the TAM really, so that's my view on that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I think having invested in as much like Campbell into some kind of trade focused platforms, scaling these things are really hard. And his answer to my question wasn't quite what I was looking for. I think it's great that he's got connections and whānau in some of these spaces, but it needs a lot more than that. They are a really hard sector and segment of people to try and get them to buy software or anything, and so I didn't hear the answer I needed to give me confidence in his go-to-market. So yeah, I would score wealth higher than Safe Grow.
Nice. Yeah. Terry Moana?
I'm with Jade, then Fred, only because of the opportunity of it's Amotai that's already out there right now. There could be support there for what he wants to do. And the area of high productivity right now is construction. So we need it, and we need small and medium-sized businesses to be working together in the space, and they need that type of protection. And we need more Māori and Pacific owned businesses in that space, in those spaces, because they are the workers. So in terms of that, that was a little bit higher for me. But also I understand the savings side of it, but for and Fred does have a fantastic understanding of what's required in that space as well. But you need money, and that's the other side. We still need to get this space where people are making money, but the creation of jobs and the management of businesses, small to medium individuals in that space, you need that as well. So that's only slightly though, only slightly. The Jade and Fred.
So that's sounding like we're tied, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it easier. I think, hopefully. I tautoko and agree. Whilst I lent in particularly to Jade's story and the opportunity, I felt that he didn't nail that question, Rob, that you asked about this. The ability to go to market and scale. So on that basis, I think they both deserve it. It does lead me to a question for Campbell, really, though. Is there? You don't have to answer this, but is there a third that you, given it's your prize and you've put it up, that you'd like to allocate it to?
No, I don't actually. Weirdly, I'd actually like Diana and all of you not to mention that I've put this up, and I'd like it to come from Deanna. That's part of her organisation. I actually think it's probably better to keep it privately. Because sometimes I shoot what's on the top of my head out of my mouth, and that's not always great. And actually, I'd rather keep it on the down low. Look, my dad was a builder, and he was a builder for many years. And I lived in abject, not abject poverty, but my dad was shit with money. He was shit with quoting for jobs. He was shit with doing jobs. He was just crap at all of the stuff that you really wanted to be good at. He was a really great builder, and he always had a mate that always had a job for him and all of that sort of thing. And I imagine there's still hundreds of these types of people around. This is why I invested into Quotamation as well. I could see what they were trying to do in that sort of digital space. And look, it is hard mahi on both ends. The downside for me is I don't like the forward trajectory where he thinks this is going. I think he needs to sort of tie-ho a little bit. So I like that, but I got to admit, with a bit of a sort of little bit of financial background and finance and sort of the unbanked, I'm more intrigued with wealth as a scalable entity than I am with Joe's story that resonates the most with me.
Yeah.
So I'm actually tied. I literally, and that's why I basically said this for me. Actually, regardless of what the scores I've put on that, there's no discernible difference between the chance to fail fast if they get the right opportunity to fail fast. And I think the fail fast is the key. Then you'll see if there's anything that's if there's anything there.
So are we saying second equal?
Yeah, for me, I can't
discern.
I can't. Yep.
So we're saying that to to people in the second spot? Because the price is the same.
That's exactly what I'd go with. Yes.
Yeah. I think, I mean, that shows that it was a judging wrestle, right? And we feel that we didn't want, you know, those that were there to miss out. It's a great opportunity to have a crack at both of them, and we believe in them.
Yeah. The other the larger point that I have is that I've been quite mean on some of my scoring. In terms of the numbers that I've given out, and when you said over 60, I'm going, I don't think that's anyone. So
it's all relative, right? It's all relative as long as
yeah,
you've been consistent in your scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Just
Phew.
Okay, so so the first goes to Toho Media, and the second goes to
Both of them.
Second
equal Wealth and Safe Scroll, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Tara Moana, you will be the one who present the prizes, so you will announce the winner. Yeah, but we will start with the second prize first. That means Wealth and Safe Scroll, and then the top one we will just announce after that. Yeah, I will lead the announcement, so don't worry about that. But we will also have the feedback session. So it looks like I really like the way the rationale behind you make that decision. I think that is important to convey to the tech founders during the feedback sessions, especially when we talk about the investability. I don't know whether we have English word for that, investability of the project. So I think we need to focus on that. Yeah, and we will end this breakout room sessions, and after that we will have a few words sharing from Diana and Alan, and then we'll go straight to the feedback sessions. So the feedback session will be 5 minutes for each tech founders, and everyone is welcome to provide the feedback, but we only have 5 minutes for one tech founders. Is that okay?
Sorry, could I suggest something else? Because it's going to be very hard to give feedback unless the judges feel it can be done in 5 minutes. I wonder if it might be better for each judge to give an overall feedback to our founders, more at a generic level, because I just want to make sure that the founders receive a combined feedback as to whatever is going to help them take this to the next level. While we may not get to the individual level, it'll still help them to drive the venture to fail fast or to move into the direction that they need to. What would you recommend, Rob, Terramona, Campbell, and Kerry? Individual feedback or a generic feedback for all the founders?
I think there's so many similarities with at least some of the points that I noted, that I think it would be fine to go as generic, and maybe invite them for individual feedback if they want to offline. Happy to kind of chat with them offline.
Yeah, I think that's a really good model, Rob. I'd buy into that. Yeah.
I've already had a few of them try and connect with me on LinkedIn already, so I don't know. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
That's great, though. That's a really good sign, by the way. It's good.
So then, Diana, I'll hand it over to you to lead the feedback sessions, because I'm going to invite you and Alan to talk to share a few words, and then it's good as well because you are the founder of Mission Ready. And thank you so much. What you need to do now is just to click Leave Room, and then we'll go back to the main room. Thank you so much. I'll see you there. Yeah. Leave breakout rooms.
Oh, tell me later. I'll be back.
All right, guys.
We heard you were saying something mean about that British guy with a bad beard. Yeah, I heard you.
Specifically.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, guys, welcome back. And we will have the feedback sessions. These sessions will lead with the introductions from Diana and Ellen as the founder of Mission Ready. Diana and Ellen, I hand it over to you.
Thanks, Sean. I'll kick off. Kia ora whanau. Woohoo! We're done with our pitch. Oh, fantastic job, guys. I'm just incredibly proud of each one of you and how far you've come. I still remember seeing you on day one and now seeing you in 12 weeks. You've gone from, some of you have had technical knowledge, but you've gone from very little to designing and building your own product and thinking about your venture and a business model and putting together a pitch. How incredible is that in 12 weeks? Well done. This is not the end, by the way. This is the beginning for you all. And our intent was really to take you through not just Startup Accelerator. It's about building your technical capability, your expertise, and to have the confidence to build and launch a tech venture. We've had amazing judges today. They've challenged you. They've given you feedback. They've given you such invaluable insights. And we really hope you take this feedback and take it into the next stage of your venture. I also just want to thank all of our judges for joining us today. It's been an incredible session and taking 3 hours and a lot more than that to review the video pitches. I obviously underestimated how much time you would put in. 1 hour is not enough, but I absolutely thank you for really going the extra mile to support our founders. It's just incredible to see the mahi that you put in for this. So thank you, Rob, Campbell, Kerry, and Tera Moana. I do have a special mention for Tera Moana. She has, without her, we wouldn't have been able to launch this amazing program. As Auckland Unlimited representative, she was responsible for providing us the funding and the support to actually help us get here. And supporting you all to actually come in here without the hassle or the pains of starting something incredibly new and intensive. So thank you very much, Terry. We really can't thank you enough for helping our tech founders. I do have to mention Joel. I know he has been our secret weapon in this program. No, not really, but he's been a co-conspirator, collaborator, a driver to help us launch this program as well. He has genuinely participated in this program as a tech founder, and it's been incredible to see somebody who gets behind a program like this and participates. And has been an absolute support throughout the program to make it better and better and better. So Joel, as a representative of Auckland Council, which we never introduced you to the rest of the team, we wouldn't be here without you either. So thank you so much. And yeah, so well done, team. I know it's been hard yards, 12 weeks. There were some incredible sound bites today, and I just want to pick up on a few of them as the judges were speaking. I was like, this is just brilliant. So a couple of things that they said I think is super valuable. Don't be afraid to be you, the authentic you, and who you bring to the table. You don't have to be the Afterpay or the Tinder for whoever. You could be the one. I love what Kerry said around being the truth for the industry for Jade. And there was some incredible feedback there. And Tara, to end with yours, which I thought was quite clever and sometimes just gets us stuck in doing something that we really want to do for our customers. And when you said separate out empathy from stupidity, so true, incredibly true. But hey, I don't want to take up more time. What I really want to say is this is the beginning. I really do want to wish you the very best. We want to stay with you on this journey, and we will talk about next steps, and Sean will share how we'll continue with you. So thank you to the judges, and thank you to the tech founders for trusting us and going through this process with us. Alan, over to you.
Hard to follow a speech like that, but tēnā tātou katoa. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our judges, Terry Moana, Rob, Kerry, and Campbell. You have the difficult job of deciding the winners and providing feedback. So thank you for taking on this important job. I also learned a lot from you today. Definitely that separating empathy from stupidity. But also things like, don't lose sight of your IP or what makes you different, stick to your vision, things like that. So yeah, so I learned as much as the tech founders actually. So thank you very much for doing that. Now, when we first came up with the idea of a tech founders program, Sean and I spent a lot of time thinking about how to realistically take all our tech founders from idea to business to implementing their technical product. It is almost like compressing 10 years of knowledge and experience into 12 weeks. It's incredible. So I'd like to actually take this opportunity to thank all of our mentors, especially Sean, for running this program. This is a great program. Awesome job, Sean. Thank you. And to all of our tech founders, we've seen how hard you worked throughout the entire journey, and we've seen how far you've come from day one. So I guess, regardless of who comes on top today, I'm really proud of what all of you have achieved. Great mahi, and I wish you all the best with your ventures. And that's it from me. Kia ora tātou katoa.
All right. So we will have 5 minutes from feedback collectively from a judge. Having said that, we can also have individual feedback, but not today. We will just deal with that, after that. There will also be an after party for those who want to stay. All right. And yeah, we can't I just feel weird. You just go, say bye just like that. I just feel weird. All right, cool. Hey, let us have
Did you drink your smoothie?
Who will be the one who want to share 5 minutes overall feedback for our tech founders? Is it Rob or?
I think we were going to do it individually, weren't we? And just
okay, yep, cool. Let's start. Yep. Maybe Kerry will start from you.
Okay. Hey, look, firstly, folks, good on you. I started out by saying I think New Zealand, we tend to have a preoccupation with creating pathways to jobs, which is good, right? But I think we should have a preoccupation of actually creating job creators. And you, through charting your waka, however nervous you were as you charted, that is incredible learning experience. And that's a learning experience that you'll be able to provide to others as well, and you'll provide inspiration. So I'd like to acknowledge the hard work and the mahi that you've put in. There was absolutely wonderful stuff in there, and so I hope that you've built confidence. And it was about building confidence to build tech ventures. I don't know how old many of you are, but the average age of a successful entrepreneur is 40 plus. So some of you have got years to go and stuff like that, but don't stop trying. We need you. And so I guess the big bit of feedback I'd give is most people focus on solution validation. But my advice is really focus on problem validation, because you can get in really early and focus on that. And I think, the biggest thing is what problem are we trying to solve and for whom? And so before you go into solutioning, being very clear about staying in that problem and ensuring that you deeply understand the problem you're trying to solve would be the biggest bit of advice I'd give. Kia ora.
All right. Should we have
how are we going to keep this in these 5 minutes? That's the challenge. I'll just build on what Kerry said. Definitely focusing on that problem and figuring out how to solve it. And because most of you have identified that it's an ecosystem space that you're dealing with, and that there are issues throughout the ecosystem that you're dealing with, being able to just pattern shift instead of focusing on solving the problem, because that's what you want to do. But maybe your first step is to shift the patterns that are actually causing the problem instead of trying to solve the problem completely. That could be your baby steps towards solving those problems. So, you know, you're already on the way, you already understand it. So for all of you. So I thank you very much for allowing me to be in your space and to share in some of your knowledge and wisdom. That's not just what we see here on the screen, but it's from your experiences, it's from your family, it's from your own world. So thank you very much for allowing me to be part of that. Hey, is my microphone on? No, I was a choice.
Kia ora.
Hi.
Kia ora. Should we have Rob next?
Yeah, okay, no worries. Yeah, look, I just reiterate what everyone said. This is not an easy thing to do, especially at the weekend and during lockdown, when, quite frankly, for those of us who are in Auckland, 5 weeks without seeing anybody else is not easy for anybody. And the fact that you're able to do that today shows a more resilience than I think you might know you actually have. So that's one thing. Look, I suppose one of the only things I would kind of leave with you is like, just make sure you're ready for startup life. If you want to go down this pathway, I welcome it. I'm a startup founder, right? But make sure you're ready for it. Make sure you've got some savings behind you and you're able to keep the food on the table and to keep paying the bills. Because I can never work for anybody ever again. I can only ever work for myself. But to do that, you have to just make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. So just be prepared in a responsible way if you want to continue down this pathway, because it's amazing, it's liberating, it's inspiring, but it's bloody hard. And I just want you to all to be prepared for that. There's nothing I'd really want to add any more than that. I mean, if you ever, the three things we look for in founders when they come and pitch us is why you, why now, and why us. Those are the three things that basically run through my mind in the first hour. Why are you the most credible person to do this? Why is now the right time for it to exist? And why am I the right investor for you? Because I'm not the right investor for everybody. And so if you were to think about those things, that would be my advice to you.
All right, we have Campbell next.
Right. Well, I think the majority of it's already been said, right? And to labour on with what Rob had mentioned, yes, startup life is tough. It's hard. I've never worked longer, ate less, and spent less time with my family than when I'm trying to do a startup, right? And that's just the real struggle that there is a reason why a lot of startup families are not families at all. They're teens and early 20s who don't know what real life really is, and so therefore it's easier for them to be that singular sort of passion sort of driven. But that being said, if you're not a just out of your teenager sort of millennial who's just dropped out of Harvard or one of those other big schools, you've basically got to make sure that you're indiscriminately niche and or detailed in the one thing that you're going to go and do, and just do it really, really good, because someone's going to pay you money if you do one thing really, 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 really well. Fail fast on difficult things. It's terrible. We all hate failing, but actually failing's a learning journey, as we all know. And if we try to do something difficult and we spend all our time doing difficult things, we struggle to do the good things, and some of the mahi is wasted because we're pursuing things that are too difficult and maybe don't actually have a solution that's there. Another couple of things, and it applies to at least two of you here. And if it's regulatory related, it cannot fail, i.e. you must get the regulatory pieces ticked off. Okay, you can fail fast on some things, but if it's a regulatory issue, you cannot fail. You can't afford to fail on that. But other than that, guys, yeah, work fast. Time is precious. You know when to get out of what's too difficult to do, and or get someone in to help you do that. But yeah, really, really good, really great, really enthusiastic pitchers, presenters. I love some of the pitch decks. You know, really, really cool group of people.
Thank you. I like that. You can fail fast, but not everything you can fail fast. That's the first time I've heard this. Being an agile coach, I think we need to really highlight that. All right, cool. Hey, wow, looks like we can really do this, you know, within the time that I have set for each agenda. So next we will move on to the prizes. Okay, and we will have Tara Moana to present the prize. Unfortunately, I don't know how to present it online, so I will just have to. We just need Tara Moana to announce the name, and then we will sort out the prize later. Okay, don't chase us for that. It will be there. Okay. All right, cool. So what's the prize? I'm going to announce the second prize first. I mean, instead of me saying that it's a prize, is actually a seed funding. The second prize goes to the most promising venture. We'll take home 3,000 funding grant, which is the seed funding, plus 5 hours with a mentor of your choice. Okay, so Tara Moana, the winner is da 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 da.
It's a drum roll, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Goes to both Fred and Jade. Congratulations.
Well done. Yeah. We need some noise, don't we? Hey!
Yeah.
Hey! Done.
So that's the Wealth Project and Safe Scroll. Congratulations. All right. Now, the top award, the seed funding, $3,500 plus 10 hours with a technical mentor plus 4 weeks fully paid developer. Wow. All right. And
drum roll.
Don't make me do that again. This is a different kind of drum. That's not drum. All right, Tara Moana. The winner is
Candy with Tohu.
Well done, Candy.
Woo, Candy!
The force is strong with you. Very, very strong.
Do you have anything to? Oh,
nice.
Sad man. Yeah,
Oh.
I've been dying. I've been trying to find the right time all day to pull out my lightsaber. Yeah.
It was the appropriate time.
Oh, Candy.
Yeah.
Candy.
Oh, do you have anything to say?
Just thank you so much for everything. Sorry.
Okay.
It's been
Good.
been amazing development to help my big goal, which is to be able to make content accessible. So thank you. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, Candy.
It means a lot, right? So, well done, Candy. That's,
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Candy, I'd like to invite you to come and have a sit down with us and talk about some funding for your business and to see whether we could do that for you. So yeah, just to help all the wheels a little bit. So connect with me offline and we'll find some time.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
no, you
No,
don't
no,
have
not
to. I mean, oh man, you make me. I can't see that kind of thing. Okay. All right.
Never apologize for tears. Just
Yeah.
applaud them.
Yeah.
That's
That was amazing.
All right, cool. Yep. Hey, we do have other prizes. The other successful venture pitches will have the opportunity to take home $2,250 of seed funding plus 1 hour of mentor of choice. We are looking at the project who score more than 60 marks. You will be contacted separately after we collect all the marks calculations. All right. So yeah. And last but not least, we will have a group photos. Now, how do we do that? All right. And but after the group photos, please don't leave yet because we have a closing by Utah. It's just that I have to make sure everyone is here before we go away. All right, cool. I'm going to switch this screen into gallery view, and then I'm going to have a screen short. Okay, now I'm going to highlight the screenshot. So you have to put your face, like smiling face, still in front of the camera, because once I select the screenshot, your face will be there forever in the history. All right, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, that's it. 3, 2, 1. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to highlight it. Cool. Yep, that's the first one. Second one. All right. All right, I'm going to highlight this again. 3, 2, 1. Cheese.
This feels too serious.
I know. Maybe okay. All right. We have another one that's with your victory sign or whatever. So let's do that. All right. All right.
We need the big win sign.
Okay. 3, 2. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, cool. Hey, thank you so much. We do have after party for those who want to stay. 10 minutes. So yeah, and then we hand it over to Utah for the closing. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for your support. Words can't describe my words towards your spirit of giving back to the community. Awesome. Thank you. I love the Mahi, and I hand it over to you, Utah.
Sorry, Sean, before we do hand over, do you want to just quickly talk about next steps and when we'll be coming back together?
I don't have any idea yet. What about your?
Don't worry, let me do it.
Okay.
Let me do it. Hey team, we do want to touch base again in 4 weeks' time, and then we will get in touch with you again in 3 months' time. So the 4 weeks' time, the idea is it's going to be a get together, hopefully not in lockdown, and we actually get to meet each other. So pizzas and drinks and all sorts of things on the table as soon as we can make that happen. And we'll love to see you, the judges at the event as well, if we get to organize it as soon as we know. So just a heads up. So we've got that planned and upcoming. But yeah, if there's anything, stay in touch.
Cool. It's just that during the lockdown, there are a change of circumstances. But thank you so much, Diana, for that announcement. All right, Utah, back to you.
Yeah, guys. In addition to all of that, like I said earlier, we've got that alumni network that we'll be adding you guys to as well, which will keep you guys in touch with our UX designers and our developers who will be graduating from other programs. So gives you access to those talent if you may need them down the line. But as I pondered on how to close today, given it's Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, I thought we could karakia, or I also was drawn to think about my favorite haka, which is appropriate in graduation ceremonies as well as weddings, and it's tiko tonu, a haka that was composed by a Māori chief whose son was going off into English school, and the haka itself is to remind yourself of what is true and to always be true to yourself. And I think as you guys venture on to these endeavors, this taka will translate well. I think I have a little bit more mana and wairoa in person, but I'd like to perform it for you guys now, and I'll leave you guys with that, okay?
Kia ora. All right, guys.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Who said during lockdown we can't do this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We managed to organize this event, to be ended on time, 1 o'clock. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. We will have after party right now, 10 minutes if you want to stay. But yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good Saturday and Sunday. It's really good weather out there. And then we'll see you next year or next event perhaps. All right, thank you so much. Let's give us a big round of applause. Thank you, judges. Thank you so much. All right, so for those who want to stay, we can stay for another 10 minutes after party. Woo! Okay, cool. So now that marks the end of the Tech Founders Peach Day 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Springtime.
Thank you.
All right. So all right. So this is your time. I've done enough talking today after party. So anyone, feel free to say anything. Yeah.
Sean, is this when I grab my award for best dressed? Is this where that happens?
I don't know.
I'm playing with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything and congratulations to everyone. It's been a wonderful experience. Congratulations to Candy. Wow, so fantastic. So happy for you and Jade as well. It was so exciting and thank you to everyone that's been pushing us along and making us forcing us to try and do our best, and it's just been so wonderful. So thank you.
Ngā mihi.
You got the bubbles. Oh, well done. Oh, don't hide them. Come on, bring them out, Candy. Yeah. Folks, look, I'd love to stay, but I've got my family that's waiting for a walk. So a little hikoi up the mountain at the Maunga. So, hey, well done. Congratulations. It was an absolute pleasure, and go hard at it. You're just great people, and I love to see how you're going. Take care.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah.
Yay, that's so awesome. So happy to see all you guys pitch, as well as obviously getting awards is nice, like getting prizes is nice, but just seeing your pitches, just thinking about how, like what Diana said, how you went from day one when you only had an idea to now you've got something tangible going. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, Sepin, Philip, do you have anything to say? These are the people who are actually supporting us, behind the scene.
Yeah, this again, like the same kind of thing, which is the awesome journey that you had when you started out to where you're right now. Hats off to all the hard work, and yeah, good.
Yeah, kia ora. It was great. I was rambling on when you were all away, Sean, when the judges were all we were all chatting. Amazing haka, Utah and Jade. That was awesome. Great call as well. Good one to pick.
We also have the Terra Moana still online. Here, if you have anything to say or anything, just feel free. Yep.
I'm preparing for my next meeting. I've got a 4-hour workshop that I have to conduct online after this. I'm listening for it.
All right. Well, it's after party anyway.
Yeah, word, true. I'll just have my imaginary glass of whatever. Thank you. I mean, I can't say, just repeat what I said before, prior. You allowed us to be in your space for this period of time, and it's very special. I hope you all know that, because what you're going to do, especially those ones that are focused on the transformation, you're going to change the world. That's what you have the potential to do with your mahi. So, yeah, it's awesome. Should I actually dip out so that you don't hear me tapping away on my keyboard while I'm working? Thank you. I will let you know so that, yeah, I'm just really like a stalker listening to what you guys are saying. I'll catch up. I'm actually writing an email to both Diane and Joelle.
Thanks.
Thank
you, Tara.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tara. Can I say something? Yeah.
The insider.
Yeah. I'm coming out of the closet. Not on that thing. Right? Yeah, not that one, not that one. Yeah, so I'm kind of was a bit stealthy. I didn't really tell you guys why I joined the program. So of course, initially, it was me trying to monitor and track the program. So what happened was Diana, Mission Ready, and I pitched this idea to Terra Moana. So Terra Moana was my colleague before she moved to Auckland Unlimited. So I worked for the Southern Initiative, and that's what I do. I support new ideas, new prototypes that has a lot of impact, especially for Maori and Pacifica. Yes, so we, Diana and I got together, created a program, pitched that to Auckland Unlimited, and it got funding. And so I thought like, I want to be part of that as well. So I think it's going to be cool to learn, but also to see how the program works. So the last 12 weeks of my life was really intense. So initially it was more of like, it's more of a monitoring and learning experience for me. But now I believe that it can be something else. So it wasn't just an exercise, or it turned out that it wasn't just an exercise. Yes, so thank you all for being part of the program. Is it okay if I kind of interview you one of these days, just to part of us showcasing what the outcomes of the programs are, and how it can also inspire, I guess, us trying to scale and show our people who sign those resources and funding to also support the next cohorts. And I'm looking at you, Terra Moana. round two. Yes, so yeah, I just want to say that yep, I haven't been forthcoming, but yeah, I wanted you to treat me as an entrepreneur and not a council employee. So that's what I want to say.
Because that's where we work, and we know that people don't trust people in council. We know. But you have two people right here on your screen who work for council who are trying to disrupt the system from the inside. That's basically what we're saying to you. And a 12-week course that Diana and Alan and Sean and the rest of your whole team have developed is very important for us to be able to say to both local and central government, there are faster and better ways for us to get people into that space so they start making money. And I know that Kerry mentioned, we always talk about pipeline to jobs and stuff. yes, we're talking about that, but we're also about talking about you are all entrepreneurs yourself. In Candy, the mahi that you could do up north, if you were to expand this idea, mate, you know what I mean? The same with you, Jay, same with you, Fred, same with you, Matt, with the agile way of thinking. It's a lot of work, but yes, you know, these ideas are fantastic, and Sumet with being able to have someone, a place where someone could register and it's verified. They're all really fantastic ideas. I'm not going to talk to you, Joel, because I work with you. But but these are things that have happened in 12 weeks. I know there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that came before that, but I can go back to my bosses and say, you know how you think about this way is the normal way that we should be funding things? Well, how about we do something like this? How about we disrupt it in this way? Because it's faster. People aren't waiting 2, 3, 4 years to be qualified to be able to do something like this. You know, so we're right behind it. In any other way that we can, this whole ecosystem can be disrupted. And that's the space that Joelle and I work in. So we do work for local government. Shh. Okay. Now I'm really going to gap it. So thank you. Okay.
Oh, I can see. Oh, thank you. I can see Campbell is still here. Let's grab him. Oh, he's still here.
Oh, I'm just listening in to what you guys are saying to each other.
Oh, yep. Just
so
let's go free flow. Anyone would like to say anything? Just like, you know, I know this is like a party, online party.
I'll say something. Yeah, just like to thank the Mission Ready team, Diana, Alan, Sean, the judges, the helping behind with yourself, Philip, and Utah. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey this year. You know, from a construction background and always using these instead of this. Yeah, it's a big muscle that's been. I mean, it's a muscle that's been worked like no other year that it's been alive. So yeah, no, thank you for all the stuff that I've learned and all the spaces that you've put us in. Above the winnings, and congratulations, Candy. Yes, yay, congratulations, Fred as well. But to all the other tech founders, you know, at the end of the day, we're all winners. We all finished the course, you know, and I just love to see everybody, everybody's idea fruition into what everyone's so passionate about. So yeah, look forward to seeing everyone's idea. Kia ora.
Mahi Jade.
Good.
Yeah, I just want to say just a big mahi to the Mission Ready crew. I mean, I've really found my tribe. I've been looking for my tribe. Still looking, you know, I mean, I spoke to Alan during my mentoring session and said that, you know, I explained to him that I've been looking for an accelerator, reaching out to people and just getting nowhere. And then when this came up, I just couldn't believe it. I reached out and spoke to Philip over the phone. So thank God you guys had disrupted this and made it possible for us to bring our ideas to fruition. Yeah, just so grateful for all of the mahi that you put behind us, and Sean, you know, you made sure that I listened and pushed forward, and also just the afi, the help that I've received from the other candidates. You know, Matt, yeah, you're always there to help out, and Fred, and Jade, you know, just reaching out. It's just been an awesome experience. So thank you. You are my tribe.
Awesome. Well done, Candy. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. It's been amazing. Thank you, Campbell, for your time today. You gave some great feedback, and I'd love to know. I'd love to be able to have a follow-up call with you if I can, to find out what you meant about the going after the smaller, the harder part first. I'd love to get a bit more of clarity around your thinking. If I can reach out to you on LinkedIn, that would be really very much appreciated.
Pleasure. I'm not hidden.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. But Diana, Alan, Sebin, Sean, it's been great. You know, the thing that's impressed me most about this course, and I said it the other night, is the amount of things you thought about You know, we thought about everything from conception right through to launching the product and pitching for investments. And every step along the way has been walked out for us. And while we can't take everything in 12 weeks, what we can do is we can have seeds planted, so that then, like we were saying earlier, when the time comes, then that knowledge has been implanted in there. We went through this process and we have learned, so when we need it most, that's when it'll come through. So the whole program has just been phenomenal. The things that you thought of, absolutely everything. I can't think of a single thing that you forgot. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the quality of ideas that came in from the candidates, all of the projects that we've worked on, we're all winners here. It's kind of like, to those that have been acknowledged today, but ultimately we've all won. I've come into this, I've got a new client out of it, I've met new people, we've had, the mentoring that we've had, the feedback, it's just amazing. So I'm truly grateful to have been a part of this, and thank you much for the opportunity.
We really need the wine and we need some music.
I know, right? Anyway, so, well, hey, I shouldn't speak. I should stop talking, because I just kind of thought to have that silence in between that I really feel that I need to step in. You know what I mean? So please help me with that. And if not, then, yeah.
I'll be the next speaker. I'm gonna say hello, thank you for the time, and goodbye. Because I've got my wife, 2 kids, and 2 dogs that probably, it's the sun is shining in Auckland for the first time in like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I look forward to spending some more time with some of you later. Diana, thank you so much for sorting it out and coming to hit me up with some help. Always a pleasure. And Sean, good job on your
thank you.
Your skills as the intermediary there. But anyway, go talk about me behind my back at your yeah? or even better, don't talk about me at all. Yeah.
Thank you, Campbell.
Guys.
Thank you, Campbell.
Been amazing. Thank you so much, Campbell.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Who else? What else?
I do agree. It is a beautiful day, and you've just done amazing work. So you must make the most of it and go and celebrate within your house or around the
house. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone. You enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Well done, guys.
Hey, guys. Bye.
See you, everyone.
Thank you. See you in 4 weeks, eh?
Yep. Woohoo, we did it. We did it.
We did it.
Awesome.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.